Very funny. The no, how it's
you gotta lie. You gotta lie to your doctor. That's what I've learned.
Yeah. No, I don't have cancer.
Are there any vaccines that you won't get?
Are there any vaccines that you won't get?
Are there any that you won't do for your kids?
Yeah, a lot that I won't do for my kids. Yeah, it's hard to say anything other than that's a lot. We get to have for my kid.
No, I'm saying of the natural schedule that they have since birth. You said no to.
You know what was really funny was she goes, we go by all CDC guidelines, and I looked at her, go, even now, and she goes,
I was just about to say, you got
that's what they're trying to say.
That's so funny.
I go, even now? She didn't, because like they've been saying it for years. And like I told Moko, I was like, the doctors don't know what to do now because now like they don't want to admit that they were only doing CDC guidelines because they trusted the people in power. And now that the people are in power, the thing that they were saying doesn't make any, they don't trust, the thing they were saying doesn't make any sense. And they don't want to actually say that, but their nurses after COVID went conservative. Yeah. And so now they don't want to explain to the nurses that was the case because then it looks so fucking stupid. So we were like, I said, even now, and she was just sitting there like, I don't remember. Because this was the doctor.
You should go into the doctor, Jensen, and be like, yo, what's up, bro? I heard Tylenol makes you fucking retarded. Is that true? Just give me sense. Is that true, doc? You fucking retarded, bro. I got a cousin, we always know him, dude. We used to call him Sleepy Joe because he would use Tylenol PMs to go to sleep, dude, and he's retarded, so to me, bro.
His sperm is probably full of Tylenol.
You know what you guys were saying about like how people didn't care before and we just move on? It's funny how after the news came out, people, like pregnant women, are just taking it for fun as like a...
So dumb.
Yeah.
I thought they guidelines. That's what I heard. Like my favorite thing is the R skeptic community. I watch them all the time, man. For years, rather than providing evidence, they have always been like the CDC says it. Okay, are you disagreeing with the CDC? And now they don't know what to do because the CDC says it and they don't trust it. And I'm like, yeah, well, okay, but the CDC says it, right? Like that's right. The refrain. And people don't know what to do with this because they literally were trained monkeys to believe that if the government says it, then you agree. And now that the government is filled with people they dislike, and people, by the way, that I dislike, I suspect the Tylenol thing, for example, is wrong. But
couldn't hurt. Couldn't hurt to not take Tylenol.
Well, it doesn't hurt not to do it, and it might contribute something. It might. I suspect with autism that a majority of the cases of autism are actually not new cases. I really do believe that we are now diagnosing very differently, and I think that we don't have a baseline. So I think that's a majority of what the rise in autism is. But that said, if we could figure out what the contributing factors are to any autism, wouldn't that be great?
Well, I think the thing that hurts is the pregnant ladies who are now going to be like, all right, I'm going to take aspirin or ibuprofen, which
and other kids
we
will be
know are really bad.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we know that that's terrible for pregnant women to take.
I don't think it's terrible for pregnant women to take, but I do think that it's not. They're not great meds. I mean, they're dangerous for you and probably for your baby somewhat. Imagine though doing that as like a fuck you Donald Trump and then your kid's autistic and spending the rest of your life wondering if you did that to your kid.
Most people don't care.
Bro, they do. They do when it happens to them.
It's such a low... It's also like, you don't know this unless you've like gone through a pregnancy and like, you know, had a baby and whatever. But I mean, you're so... Like, if you're a good parent, you're going to be really like you gotta make sure you have your prenatal vitamin. Dude, okay, this is a hilarious one. Like, my wife got a little depressed because we had 4 babies back to back over 5 years. So there was like a 2-week period where she was a little depressed, which is like, of course, that's a fucking hard thing to do. And because she got a little like down, she like didn't take her prenatal vitamins for 2 weeks, and then she was like, and then she was like beating herself up because she didn't take her prenatal vitamins for 2 weeks. And then I was like making her feel better by being like, yeah, I mean, like, listen, like the kids aren't going to Yale anymore, but they're not going to be fucking retarded or whatever. It's like
my wife been sick for 2 days, Huddle, and she was crying. She's like, "Did I hurt the baby?" I was like,
yes,
fine.
Yeah. So that's a normal thing that women do during pregnancy. They don't hear, hey, Tylenol will make your baby retarded, and then down a bottle of Tylenol to own the conservatives. That's not a thing, you know.
I will say though, like it is amazing to watch this, like that these people hate Donald Trump and his administration so much that they're willing to take these risks, and it is amazing. It's amazing to me that we really are there.
I have to say that I didn't think anything of ivermectin, and then when Joe Biden and them were like, we hate ivermectin, I was like, I should get some ivermectin, you know? On a final note, before I go to the Mac store, get some MacBook stuff, I was watching this interview with this black lady after Jim Crow had fallen and stuff, and it was a black lady that lived in a rich white community, and they're interviewing her, and she's like, you know, we love our community. She sounds like this, you know, so it's kind of a mid-Atlantic accent. She's, we love our community. We love the women and the men that live in our community. We love going and playing tennis with them. The real problem is the niggers next door. Bro. They keep coming into our community and robbing us. What? I saw this video from, I think it was like, it was like Return of the Jedi was released or something, like some movie in the 80s, and the crowd is a bunch of black people and a bunch of white people, and everyone sounds the same. Yes. They all sound the same, and there's no code switching or different cultural accents. This has been my point. Like, we did something to black people in the 80s, maybe the late 70s, where they turned into, you know, niggers. It's very odd, but also everybody talks differently than they talk today too. Well, listen to the interviews of like those black women in Pennsylvania that were bombed by the police. I don't remember what that group was called, but they're talking. They sound like you know, hippies, a little more aggressive, but they don't sound like, you know, whatever, like black people in America. They sound like hippies. And there's something, really weird. You know, the black community is always talking about how music, like rap music, is like an op against them. And I used to not think much about that, but like I kind of think they're right. I think rap music is an op. I don't know whose op it is or for what reason, but
it's just used to gerrymander. It's not really just an op, you know what I mean?
That's about to die. Did you see that Supreme Court ruling's going to come down and that gerrymandering shit's about to be done? But is it even... What I'm saying is like... Okay, so when you go on like a black podcast, like a Joe Budden podcast or something, a conspiracy theory that will come up is that the same people that are investing in the record labels are investing in private prisons. Yep. Right? And then you look into it, and it's true. Wait a second. I think this is real. Like, I think this is kind of real. You know? Because, bro, go back to, like, Smokey Robinson and shit. Black music wasn't, like, extremely violent, you know, criminal music. That's, like, a very recent phenomenon.
There's a reason they'll give Sexy Red like $50 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I like 100% am with the black communists that like there's a massive psyop going on. Something's up. Because dude, you listen to like hip hop these days, and it's just a fucking thug mumbling. You know, like, what is that? Who wants
And
that?
somebody says, this is it. Like at the time, you know what
I know.
There's a guy there saying like, yeah, on this.
See, but then the problem with like, so then it's like, okay, like you're like, okay, this is going on, and you're like, why don't you just stop listening to music? And then people are like, yo, cause that shit's a banger, dog. And you're like, okay.
But it's all white kids listening to it.
Well, the white kids are the ones
listening to it.
The white kids are the ones propping up the industry, the ones paying for all this. Yeah.
Look at a Travis Scott concert and look at the crowd. I rest my case.
So all these mass shootings were white people being victims by black rap violent music.
Wait, what?
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 All these mass shooters were victims of listening to violent rap music.
Oh, no, nobody's saying that.
No, nobody's saying that at all.
Are you saying
You
that?
guys are sounding like Fox
Yes,
News
I
in
am saying
2010.
I don't know, dude. This is like, Micah doesn't know because he doesn't listen to Culture Podcast, Antonio. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He grew up on an
You don't know
intersex
me,
hunting
son.
community.
That was true. No, that was Chorizo.
Mass shooter already black. What are you talking about?
Been inspired today to finish writing my second reign. Did you hear the first one I did?
So I was in a black room last night,
I got all my
and I
political
showed you
views
not.
from the breakfast.
All
From
these
the Breakfast
black
Club.
people were saying the white people wish they were black. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
I think everybody
There's
just
a segment of the population where that is true.
Wait. Can we do an AI video of the Breakfast Club where we do a mass shooting movie?
Wait, what?
Can we take the Breakfast Club and use AI to turn it into a movie about a mass shooting? That's why they're hiding in detention.
You probably could, actually. Intercut it with Gus Van Zant's Elephant. You could.
Yo, who's that guy they say put Drake on? He's basically part of that whole conspiracy that you're talking about, Huddle. Like the private prisons tied to gangster.
Yeah.
You mean Lucian Grange?
Yes, exactly. Him.
As Kanye said it, he said, meanwhile, the DEA teamed up with the CCA. They're trying to lock people up. They're trying to make new slaves. Like, come on. I believe it. I'm just in on every conspiracy now. Fuck it. I'm Will. I've become Silva or Will.
Too late for this. You had to do it when Alex Jones got kicked off Twitter. That's when it was.
I know I'm late. I'm late. You know why? Because I'm a poser. I'm not really about that life.
Yeah, you gotta be earlier.
Like, I don't actually believe in the moon landing was fake.
I don't want to believe in anything, honestly. It's not something you want to believe.
I was just forced to.
Welcome
No,
to the
just-
club, Huddle.
I just like to do my own research and look into things.
And always conclude that the conspiracy is true.
No, I actually don't. That's funny. The conspiracy is true. What's the conspiracy?
I'm fucking dying.
That was one of the funniest things you said.
It doesn't make
And you concluded the most popular conspiracy is true. I gotta
Name
remember this.
three conspiracy theories.
Name your top 10 conspiracies. Name 10. Oh, you like conspiracies? Name your top 10.
George Bush did 9/11.
Hey, you seen that painting?
That's always been one of my favorites, but honestly, I like to use the Charlie Kirk now. That's a great one.
That's my least favorite one.
Same.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can think that because there's no evidence of it. Oh, dude,
Why it's so
the
funny?
only conspiracy that I am certain is a conspiracy is the Las Vegas shooting. That thing makes no fucking sense.
That thing makes no fucking
The
sense.
country concert one, right?
That's the only one.
The other Vegas shooting.
Joseph, you're not in on
The
that?
only one I believe in is.
I don't know how many there are. Did you
I
see?
fucking hate Maul.
Did you see
I
they're trying to
love the
Photoshop
conspiracy of
parachute?
John being great as well.
Who's tra-
John Corey.
Yeah.
Metro is a type of straight, barely type.
I did like the.
There is nothing more satisfying than like going into a mall when you got a fart and just strafing, just constant.
Crop dusting.
Yeah, it's not like when it's a lot mall.
You would have been a great terrorist, John. So.
like long hallways of kind of.
That is a form of bioterrorism, I will say. A light form.
Did you
It's a light form of bioterrorism.
Did you
I
have
guarantee you,
sauerkraut?
hot chicks are doing that all the time.
It's a chemical
What'd you have
attack.
for breakfast? I'm gonna tell my son this. He's gonna laugh his ass off. What'd you have for breakfast?
Me?
Yeah.
I had a Caesar salad and a turkey sandwich because we had a party yesterday and that's what was left over. And it stood
what was your
outside all night.
party?
So.
Oh, I see. It was outside all night. Okay. That makes sense.
Were you able to
Hey,
successfully
how's the
hide all
mall,
those from your
traffic?
invitees?
Jensen, how's the mall traffic?
Oh, it's loud enough that I can strafe and no one can hear a thing. They sure
is it
can.
packed? Are there a lot of people, or what?
There's quite a few people here.
Andrew, I went
Yeah,
back
I was-
yesterday. It was busy again too.
Yeah. See, like I'm asking because the other whatever week I went out and I was like stunned how packed the mall was. So
I didn't hold it back, dude.
yeah, I don't know about this whole economy is gonna die thing because the malls are packed. I had a line at a Lego store to buy some trinket. Okay.
Were you buying Legos or?
I mean, a little set at a Lego store, you know. But these are all impulsive, unnecessary.
I'm at the
purchases.
Apple store. There's literally not a space in here.
Wow. Keep strafing them. Get them all.
The Apple Store never has space, though.
And after you do it, well, sometimes it's empty. After you do it, you just like say, "What?" Pretend that it's not you. Someone else did. Make everybody look around. Junsen, do a little acting.
It gives it away a little bit when you are saying it out loud.
I am crop dusting you. I am crop dusting you.
Apple's a little extra busy just because the phone launches.
Remember when everybody thought they were going to use crop dusters for anthrax?
No, what was that? I don't remember this.
Remember the anthrax thing where somebody sent anthrax in the mail to people and then people were
Yeah.
convinced that
It was the FBI,
No, it's the
Yeah.
army. It's the army.
the army.
There's
Yeah.
a fire research for the.
Remember how they got the wrong guy for it,
Yep.
and how that guy went on.
They got like 3 wrong guys.
Yeah.
By the way, you know how
PhD scientists.
you know how that guy killed himself? Tylenol. Tylenol. You like that, Silva? You like that? It's all connected,
Was it
Silva.
good?
It's all good.
I'm surprised you're blaming it on Tylenol and not the juice.
Well, the Jews make the Tylenol.
They make the Tylenol. It's all connected.
For sure they own it.
Hey, Trump did a speech today with Bibi about peace in Gaza and the offer and whatnot. I'm pretty optimistic.
Do you really
It'd be
think?
great.
Do you
It'd be
think?
great if Hamas accepted it.
Do you think that they're going to?
I don't know. I don't think they have a choice, to be honest with you.
Hmm?
There's less and less
I
opposing
think
voices with Hamas.
Israel will accept it. Obviously, Gaza will.
Of course they will. He said with Trump that they will.
We'll see. Let's only hope and see what happens.
Ooh, that's a pretty coin you guys made in Canada. Wow.
Pretty what?
coin. I'm looking at a Elizabeth II bulletproof silver jubilee, half an ounce from 1977. It's beautiful.
I sold more silver the other day. Was it Friday?
Was it?
I'm gonna have to buy this.
Now we're at 46. Holy smoke.
I heard there was some talk about a Charlie Kirk coin.
Wait. The shit?
They should make one.
Yeah.
It's gold, dude.
Like a limited edition.
Holy
Or...
shit. Gold's at all-time highs, eh?
Is it?
$38.28. Dude, I was buying some of my silver for like $14 an ounce Canadian, and now it's at like almost $70. That's not a bad. Not a
Are
bad.
you guys going out to pan for gold and silver for fun yet?
Oh shit! Never mind. Wait, no, that was gold. What silver?
I used to know some people who owned gold mines, and they flipped them for a quick profit, but man, should have hung on to that shit.
No, the miners haven't really run yet. I don't think, unless they have recently. But up until like a month ago, the miners hadn't really moved.
No, they haven't.
Newmont hasn't moved.
Let's look them up.
That's because they hedge themselves really well. They'll sell the futures.
Yep.
For what they're going to extract. It's a 6-month chart. And they're up 75% in the past 6 months.
Probably got some sweet premiums on those multiples.
1% dividends still. Okay, they're at the same price as they were in April of 2022, 3 years ago. So there you go. Your terrible investment.
Let's see, AG year to wow, they're up 125% year to date. Oh shit. Pan America, what's that one?
Look at a 5-year chart.
America is up year to date 91 over 5 years. It's up 20%.
I'm getting out of the Apple store and there's this little boy having a freak out. And
Did you get something?
well, he looks like he's like, I don't know, maybe a year and a half, and his dad's spanking him every time he like screams.
Oh.
Good for that, Dad.
That's not nice. That's not
I think it's a little young.
There's different ways to get done whatever he needs to get done.
I think it's a little young. You know, the kid can't really speak.
You need to spank at that age because logic doesn't work.
I've never understood that perspective.
I don't know. You ever had a kid that was a biter?
Well,
No,
this kid's
I
just
wouldn't.
having a freak out
When she was like a year and a half, she was biting our other daughter who was a newborn. And it was like, you cannot do that. And it's like, you can,
Have you tried feeding? Have you tried feeding?
Yeah, trust me. I remember the one, at first we didn't realize why, like, our other daughter would scream, like, when she went by her. And then one time I was holding her, and my hand was underneath the blanket, and she took a chomp on my finger. I was like, you are biting this baby.
So what do? Give them a little spank when they do it?
Yeah, just grab her hand and say, no,
your middle finger.
Bite, and give her a little smack on the hand, like,
Well, okay. I don't consider a little smack on the hand to be like a spanking.
Yeah. No, you take your middle finger and you kind of like flick it onto the back of their hand,
Yeah.
If you hold their hand in your little hand and you like go like one of these, like where you're like, no, that's not a spanking.
No. This guy's literally smacking the kid's butt every time he screams.
Public. Yeah.
Yeah.
Repeatedly.
Yeah.
I was a biter. My mom says that I would bite all the kids in my classroom when I was like 2-3 years old.
No wonder you're not married.
I would clean them first, apparently. I would clean where I was gonna bite, and then I would bite them.
What?
Yeah.
Clean and then bite?
That is weird.
Well, I want to know how. Wait. I think she was just finding stupid kids. She was just identifying them.
Maybe. And apparently I think I'm around like
you're sitting around in a class, and then a little girl comes over and starts like cleaning your hand, your arm.
And then she goes, hello! And I go,
yeah.
This
and I go, please call deportation.
Well, the teacher said apparently that I would never repeat. Like I would bite a different kid every day. And then when I was done with all of them, they were like, okay, well, now she's bit all of them. Maybe she's done. And I started a new round, apparently. I don't know.
Were you learning how to count? Were you learning how to count or something?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
That's amazing.
Apparently it was a big problem.
That's premeditated biting.
It really is.
Yeah.
Deportation.
It's a serial
Well,
biter.
no, because it was in Guatemala, actually.
Deport? We can deport from Guatemala.
I can understand why you cleaned that if it was in Guatemala. I wouldn't bite a dirty Guatemalan either.
Well, at least I was a clean toddler.
I have an idea for an AI company.
What Mac gear did you pick up?
I took 2 Mac Airs for employees, and then I got one for myself.
Nice.
I'm a big fan of the Mac Air. I like it better than my MacBook.
A Pro or
I like a lot. Yeah, I had one of those for years, and I tried the Mac Air, and I love it. The problem is the one I got is way underpowered RAM-wise.
Would you get like 24 gigs and like M4 or whatever it's on now?
That's what I did for theirs, and I got mine with 32 gigs.
Nice.
Yes.
And 2 terabytes of hard drive.
It's become my preferred device too. Like anything greater, you should probably just have on a server somewhere in SSH. So for like a remote device, like an edge device, is all you need really.
Yeah, but I will say I like a lot of hardware space or hard drive space on my personal because I find hard drive space to be freedom.
Same.
So
I just I bought an SSD from like Hollow's recommendation.
yeah, after many years of analyzing how I use computers, the thing that always makes me have to buy a new one is that my hard drive fills up.
Same. I like backing it up and wiping it too.
I think it's interesting. Like, I remember people telling me they get like 10 years out of their MacBooks. I usually get about 3.
Yeah, I was about to say I get like 3, but I think if you have any of the new like Apple Silicon devices, you're all right. But each generation is such a big improvement over the other ones, and I think that
3 and M and M4, so, you know.
I had a beefy like MacBook Pro M1 for work, but returned that. I have like an M2 Air right now with a terabyte. I want to wait till the next gen to get the next Air.
We're gonna be like an M5.
Yeah, I think it's M5, and then the ones I have, I think anything like M3 and earlier has some pre-fetching like memory issues that make it easier to basically see what other programs are running, so it makes side channel attacks easier. So I've just been delaying that update or upgrade.
Are we still talking about the BB Netanyahu Trump press conference today, or more of a presser?
Did that happen?
No, it already happened.
What did they say? What did they say?
You guys didn't cover it?
Did they have sex on camera?
Oh my God!
What?
Yeah, these guys, they're getting themselves in a tizzy. There's not going to be any deal. Hamas is never going to agree to this. There's no guarantees of any type of the 21 points in the agreement. There's nothing that.
What are you talking about? We didn't hear it, so no one knows what you're talking about.
You guys didn't. It's literally in the title.
You didn't play it.
Like, I made the title.
Well, what are you screaming about? Okay, if they don't agree, they're gonna get killed. Who cares? What's your problem?
You guys didn't cover the press conference?
No.
Cover it? What do you mean cover it?
You want us to cover a press conference? We need to schedule our own press conference.
That's right.
Why don't you go over the point what's said, and then I'll tell you what I think about it.
Who is Bibi?
Oh my God.
Are you guys joking? Is this serious or is this a joke?
Joking.
A joke?
She masturbates to BB, obviously joking.
So what happens when Hamas doesn't accept this deal?
So Donald Trump came out with Bibi Netanyahu today at the White House and announced a 21-point plan for how they say they get peace between Israel and Gaza. Essentially, what Israel has to do, what Gaza has to do, what the Hamas has to do, is they have to return all of the hostages within 72 hours of the signing of the deal. They have to basically turn over their arms, no tunnels, no military hardware, anything. They're going to appoint a governing Palestinian civilian governing entity. Israel's going to go back to their end of the border, just with a demilitarized zone that they're going to stand on to, I guess, ensure security. And essentially, they're going to work towards another deal where they rebuild Gaza. That's the deal. Problem with that is that basically they defang Hamas, and if Israel doesn't comply with this end of the deal, there's essentially no way for Gazans to be protected against Israel's wrath. So that's why Hamas is never going to accept the deal.
Why do Gazans need to be protected against Israel's wrath?
Well, I don't know. Have you seen what's been going on in Gaza for the last, 18 months?
Yeah, I've been watching
bombing of civilian infrastructure, tents, massive relocating of civilian. It is civilian infrastructure.
No,
you're
it's
bombing
not.
Apartments. Well, you're bombing apartments.
You're bombing apartments with tunnels underneath.
Yeah,
No, it's tunnels underneath.
Well, that's still civilian infrastructure. I mean,
No. That's military infrastructure.
Just because there's tunnels underneath doesn't repurpose it
Just
as military
It's a war
infrastructure.
crime committed by Hamas. By
Good. Then go after Hamas, not the civilians.
Who is this guy?
They're not
Doesn't that
going
make
after-
sense?
so they're not going after civilians, stupid.
No, dummy. Again, the civilians live.
Well, maybe the civilians should stop supporting Hamas, who's building tunnels underneath their
Good.
homes.
When's the last time you polled the civilians, dumbass?
What'd you say?
When's the last time you polled the civilians, you dumbass?
Like months before, a few months before they like flew over the gates and murdered and raped,
Yeah, no,
Jeez.
that's before October 7th. You said
Yeah,
civilians should stop supporting Hamas.
Let me do
If you actually look at the before October 7th poll, a majority of Palestinians did not support Hamas. So you have
So
misinformation.
So dumb. Let me do for you a reenactment of how the Gazan governing board is going to go. Okay, guys, we are here to vote again on the resolution. We are going to the resolution before us is to kill the
This
Jews.
is not
How many
Soviet
here
Russia.
vote
Why
for
are you
yes?
sounding like Soviet Russia?
How many here vote yes? Who cares? How many here vote yes?
I hear Russian.
Okay, everybody. We are going to kill the
Soviet Russia.
Jews.
This guy doesn't even know his accents.
It's all Russia's fault.
Who cares? You sound like a New York fag.
There have been polls
I'm glad
after
you
the
recognize
7th of
me.
October,
Seen
and
one.
if I don't recall badly, they have been also celebrating and saying that this was a big victory for Gaza.
No, it's they're not celebrating. They're having it's just lots of birthday parties because they have so many births there.
Oh yeah, that too. Israel is horrible at genocide.
I love this narrative that war is bad. Yeah, well, yeah, war does suck. Go read some Stephen Crane, TC.
So is war good?
Yeah.
What's that? Sometimes war is necessary.
There is a morality to war. Yes. When you're under the obligation to defend your citizens, yeah, war is moral.
Yes, war may be moral, but there's a moral way to engage in war, and that's not
Oh, yeah,
what
tell me
the
about that.
has been doing.
What are they doing that's immoral?
Yeah, they first off, they can create discrimination in their attacks. They're attacking indiscriminately, regardless to civilian life.
If it were indiscriminate, one, a lot more people would be dead. Number two, they would have left it in a day. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah, again, you seem to have a misunderstanding of the fundamentals of moral war. You don't target civilian infrastructure.
Oh my God.
You're an idiot.
No,
I know you're an idiot.
I literally responded to your
he
point.
does know all those things, so your claims are a joke. Don't even try.
My claims are a joke. Who was it that came out and shot
You
their
just
own?
said he doesn't
Who was it
know
that came out and shot their
anything about
own?
moral.
Who is it that shot their own
He
hostages?
doesn't know about
Who was it that came out and
you
shot?
are wrong.
I'm wrong. Just because you say I'm wrong, at least have an informed position without coming out with the conjecture and speculation.
You're the one who's speculating.
No,
making
I
a
have
claim
the
against
facts.
Junset.
I have the fact.
No,
Who
you
was? Okay, let's do pop quiz here, dumbass.
You just
Let's do a
said-
pop quiz, dumbass.
you just said
Who was
that
the
he
one that
doesn't know
shot their
anything
own
about
civilians
moral
that was
wars.
waving a
You're
white
wrong.
shirt of surrender with their hands in the air
You
and
just
shot
said
him
he
at
doesn't
point
know what
blank
a
range?
moral war
Who
is,
was it?
And that is incorrect.
Who was it that shot their
You
own
made a false
civilians?
statement.
Who was it that shot their own civilians that came out with a white shirt in their hand, waving the flag of surrender, and they shot and killed their own civilians in
You
cold
just
blood?
made a claim.
Who was
One
that?
Mic at a time.
You made a false claim.
Yeah, he keeps repeating himself because he's so dumb. He doesn't know how to formulate a code.
Oh my
I don't think you
No, I'm addressing one at a time, TC. You made a
I don't
false
think
statement.
that I don't think that TC knows what these words mean.
No, he doesn't.
I don't give a damn what room I'm in. You got the misinformation, I'll correct it. I don't give a fuck who you are.
TC, you don't know how to correct misinformation. You're asking a question.
Prove it.
Yo,
Prove it.
you in Gaza, dog?
TC,
Prove it.
it's let me explain to you. This is a really stupid quiz for a number of reasons, but I'll explain the reasons why this is a stupid quiz. Number one, you're asking a very specific question about something subjective when something objective, when there's a lot of subjectiveness that goes into war. So who shot a
First
person?
off, use actual words. If you're gonna try to lecture me on how to engage
oh my god,
use some words.
Oh my god,
That's
shut
actual
up.
subjectiveness is not a word.
Are you able to control
Subjectiveness is a
yourself
word.
around the microphone, TC, when they're talking to you?
Hey, TC, the way it works is first he talks. When he's done, then you can talk. Don't interrupt.
Second, we don't know, like you can show, first of all, you have to show me the source. I will look at the source. I will look at whether Israel did what you're saying they did, and then I'm going to look into why. And I'm going to bet that they did not intentionally shoot their own hostage. And I'll bet the record will show that the soldier who did shoot the hostage, if this is true, was probably punished for it because it's a bad mistake. Now, if you want to go tit for tat, there's a number of things Gazans have done, such as shooting their own hospital, trying to blame it on Israel, killing civilians and then laying them out for dead and then saying that Israel did it, for which you have the satellite footage of them literally laying the bodies out. There's times that they've shot their own people and shot down apartments, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like they're a nasty organization that builds tunnels underneath the homes of all of the people that they're supposed to be leading, and those people continually elect them into power. Moreover, when there are polls done, the people of Gaza overwhelmingly support Hamas. So you're wrong. All right, now you can go.
All right, so anybody can Google this. You don't have to take my word for
No,
it.
you need to provide your sourcing. Your sourcing.
No, you provide your sourcing. You provided a whole bunch of misinformation and disinformation and untruths, and you're telling me to provide my sources. If you go back and look at the pre-October 7th polls, Hamas was very unpopular. You're wrong. You don't even know what you're talking about, okay? If you're going to try and lecture me and trying to one-up me, at least have the facts on your side. Anybody can look this up. Hamas was very unpopular before October 7th. Very unpopular with the Gaza and Palestinians. Number two, you provided no evidence or support for your claims that Gazans are shooting their own people and Gazans are shooting up their own hospitals. You provided zero support for those claims.
I didn't say Gazans, I said Hamas.
When you say, hold on one second. No, you said Gazans. I heard you. Okay.
I said
Secondly,
Hamas.
when I referred to the IDF that shot and killed their own hostages that were waving white flags in the air with their hands in the air, and they killed them at point blank range as a support for the indiscriminate killing that the IDF engages in, which we know it's indiscriminate because they had white flags in the air when they shot and killed them. They said you call it a mistake. So I get it. When the IDF engages in homicidal, genocidal conduct, it's mistakes. But when Hamas engages in conduct, it's terrorism, right? I got it. Number two, what was it? What did you call it when the IDF targeted and bombed the humanitarian convoys from the Food Network from Garcia here in the United States? Huh? When he sent in food trucks and a convoy of food trucks and the IDF strategically, militarily bombed those convoys, even though they communicated with the IDF that they would be moving food resources into those areas and killed a bunch of citizens. Excuse me. So when you guys are talking, I have to go on mute. But when I'm talking, you guys get to talk over me. That's intellectual, honest. And now I'm being muted because you're wrong, and I'm proving my point with facts, and you have no legs. You're not moving.
Continue. I just want to see your sources and Jonathan's sources. Thank you for this.
Thank you. Yeah, anybody can check me on what I'm saying is 100% correct.
No,
it was
provide your sources. Can you give us
Provide the sources. The chat.
Yeah, I'm driving, but I'm happy to provide the sources. The IDF was informed of a convoy.
Well, when you're ready, then you can continue. If you're not ready, then
What do you mean not ready? I'm talking right now. What do you mean I'm not ready?
food convoy. I believe the food convoy was that the one where they shot one truck because they believed that they were carrying
That's the one. That's the only
Hamas.
one. Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah, I
world,
believe that's
so it's World Central Kitchen.
Yeah, that was at the beginning of the war,
Yeah, that's
and what happened there was very.
Stop, wait, hold on. What you're not gonna do is you're not gonna take my example of proof that
You think that you put the rules
I'm
here?
going to explain what happened if this is the one.
and create a bunch of false information and misinformation. The link is in the chat. It wasn't at the beginning of the war. You're wrong and you're a liar, okay?
I asked you, it was at the beginning of the war.
IDF indiscriminately bombed food convoys, humanitarian convoys, World
Number one.
Kitchen.
Number one.
And you
Number
were
one,
complicit
TC.
with the activity of the IDF because you said it didn't happen. That it was a mistake when you claimed that they shot their own civilians. So I'm providing you now a litany of different evidence.
Okay.
In which
We're
the
gonna do
IDF
that.
engaged in.
TC, I'm going to throw it out of the audience. Okay, so here's the thing. The word indiscriminate does not mean targeted attack. It means indiscriminate. So let's stop calling the things that you are claiming are targeted attacks indiscriminate attacks. If they're indiscriminate, then I can see a mistake being made. TC, I'm going to kick you down again if you don't shut the fuck up. Okay, so they're not indiscriminate attacks. Number two, I didn't say it didn't happen. What I said was this the one from the beginning of the war, which you said yes to? Or well, Issa said yes, and I started explaining what happened there, and then you came in and said that I was lying. I'm not lying. I'm asking if that was when that was, and I'm asking you for the evidence. So you dropped a link in, and then you're going off. Give me a sec.
Yeah, we're just trying to have a dialogue.
I shouldn't have to wait for you to get read up on the details.
Like, we're just trying to.
Well, I'm the one that's getting muted and sent to the audience. You're telling me to take it down.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, because it was my turn to speak, and you were giving lies, and I was correcting the lies, and you're muting me. So which one is it?
No,
it's me that needs to calm down. You need to calm down.
Let's provide this information, and then you guys can dispute it after, like, in like rounds or take turns.
Yeah, and so let me deal with the indiscriminate claim because he clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. When I'm referring to indiscriminate, I'm literally talking about their value for life. I'm not talking about military targets. So you're wrong. I highly recommend.
Indiscriminate very specific.
Excuse me. Indiscriminate value of human life. You don't discriminate. If you would be
TC, let me help you. The word you're looking for is collateral damage.
No, I'm not looking for collateral damage. I'm looking for indiscriminate. Okay? Because they don't discriminate between who the war fighters are and who the civilians are. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I've been talking about it for years. I don't need a lecture from you guys on how to use the words. I know what I'm talking about.
You say they're indiscriminating? They're indiscriminating?
Don't discriminate against who's civilians and who's war fighters. So it's indiscriminate. It's indiscriminate value for human life. They have no value. If you're in Gaza, they don't discriminate. It's indiscriminate. I know what the fuck I am talking about.
If it were indiscriminate,
Like, how do you know ID, TC? Like, are they wearing labels, or how does that happen?
Yeah, that might be a legitimate argument. But what you can't say is that they have not engaged in indiscriminate killing of civilians. Like I said. It's not up to you guys what indiscriminate is.
TC, if it's indiscriminate, why is it that a majority of the people that have died, like 3 to 1, have been young men?
The majority that have died have been civilians.
No, TC. If it's indiscriminate,
it's indiscriminate. It's the majority has been civilians.
Oh my God.
Is that true or false?
If it's indiscriminate, then you would agree that the distribution of deaths should follow some random distribution, which means that like it should be approximately, if there's like 50% women, 50% men in Gaza, that's about the percentage that should die. But what's actually happening is something like 2 to 1 or 3 to 1. The deaths in Gaza are men. Can you explain how that's happening in a world where it's indiscriminate killing?
First, I'm glad you were able to come around to my terminology of indiscriminate. Now that you've understood what I'm talking about,
I'm refuting your
to make distinctions that don't exist. Okay, and I'm not going to accept your distinctions just because
What
they
distinction?
you're trying to make a distinction between civilians, whether they're male or female. That creates a qualifier for whether or not it's discriminating.
No.
That's
No,
stupid.
yeah, it does. It does actually.
It's
It
stupid.
does.
It demonstrates
TC,
your level of
TC.
comprehension.
No.
TC, either engage with it or leave. I'm asking you, if it's indiscriminate, why doesn't it follow a normal distribution? Okay, that's my question for you. Why doesn't it follow a normal distribution if it's indiscriminate? Why is it that a majority of the people dying by a long shot?
June said,
Answer that question.
June said, this is not an inquisition. I'm
Answer
not
the
on
question.
trial. I'm not being.
Yes,
Go
you
for it.
are.
You're pretty disingenuous, dude.
Where did he go?
I don't know. He can't handle it.
He's down there. He was put in the tunnel.
It's because
Maybe we should bomb the apartment for him.
Joseph can't stand the fact that I'm leveling his ass, so he has to put me in the goo.
You're not.
Because he
Nothing
can't have
here.
a
Leveling his
debate.
ass.
He has to
Making
mute
stuff
and
up.
silence his opposition. No, I don't have to make
You
anything
are
up. I don't have
not
to
doing
adopt
that.
your
He's trying to engage
determination
in good faith.
of
No one
what's
else is doing
considered
it. Sorry.
discriminate or not. I don't have to accept your definitions. I don't have to answer your questions based on your construct of what's defined as discriminate or not. You have a larger percentage of the population, a larger percentage of the civilian population that makes up the deaths.
Okay. I'm putting you back in the audience. TC, I accepted your definition. I didn't ask you to accept mine. And then I asked you a question to refute the definition you gave me. Classic debate tactic. All I did is accept the thing that you told me was your definition of indiscriminate. And then I asked the question that violates it, okay? So now you go and explain to me why I'm wrong. Why doesn't it follow a normal distribution? Why are there 3 to 1 men dying over women? Okay? Answer or leave. I know it's a hard thing to answer.
He got kicked out.
Yeah, you can bring him back up now.
No, he must have left.
No, he's here. I'll
I
bring him
don't
up.
care. He's in the last row.
I invited him.
Yeah, I love that you guys keep coming in and say, "Oh, he left,"
No, I
because
I
you can't deal with the information.
Because you have to
That's
react to
beautiful.
something
You guys, listen. This is you would think that
Oh my
people
God.
TC,
that
it's
like
not
to think
you guys.
themselves as
We're
smart.
trying to hear you debate.
JC,
No,
answer
you're
the
not.
question.
You keep kicking me to the goo. That's what you
Right.
keep doing. You don't want to
Taking
hear
turns
me.
because you won't keep to the style. So go ahead, answer his
I
question.
don't have to answer his question. What part of that don't you understand? This is not an inquisition.
No, it's
I made a
debate.
position.
It's not a
You can
debate.
adopt the terminology. It's fine. I
Then
don't
it's not
have
a
to answer
debate.
your question. I
Yeah,
don't
so it's
accept
not
the
a debate
premise.
then.
Don't accept the premise of your question. It's a
What's the
logical
premise?
fallacy.
Wait, what's the premise?
No, your reasoning
What's
is
the
valid.
premise, TC?
So
What's
exactly
the
what you're
premise?
doing, you're not gonna get away with it with me.
What's the
right?
premise?
So-
What
so
is the
again,
premise, you stupid
Yeah, I'm not
fuck?
answering. I'm not
What
answering any of
is
your dumbass
the
questions.
premise?
You don't have to. You don't have to yell at me
What's the
because
premise,
I'm not
JJ?
stupid. You're
JJ, what's the
stupid.
premise?
I don't
JJ, what's the
know
premise?
what I know
What's the
what you
premise?
do.
What's the premise? What's the premise? What is the premise of my question? What are you
You
rejecting?
can shout all you want to.
JC, what is the premise you're rejecting? Jesus.
Again, I don't have to answer your questions. Just
What is
because
the
you want to throw a
premise?
temper tantrum like a child because somebody's not giving you what you want.
He's using
Oh my God.
I have to acquiesce to your
Okay,
demands.
okay,
You're
goodbye,
wrong.
JC.
You've been consistently wrong.
everybody.
Jesus.
It's fine.
What's your goal?
Oh my
You
God.
see, nobody believes what you said.
Don't kick him down, but TC, what's your goal?
No, Vic, yeah. There's no good faith. If you're not having any good
There's a
faith,
lot of
then
good
it's not
things.
worth
I
having.
don't have to answer your questions. What part of that don't you
TC.
understand?
Then what are you
You
doing
say,
here?
then it's not a debate. Okay?
What are you doing here then?
He's just propagandizing on behalf of Hamas.
TC, we were trying to
Yeah.
actually understand your perspective.
Okay.
No.
I'm trying to be neutral
Don't be so
here.
gay.
John Seth brought up the distribution of the deaths to your argument about the, non-discriminate use of force, and we used your definition versus like a military definition, which you didn't like. So we're trying to engage this in good faith, and you could tell. John
I don't
Seth-
see him anymore.
No, he's there. It's the very last row.
You could tell, John Seth, and it's not you guys. I actually want to hear what you have to say to John Seth, because I think you guys are trying to have this discourse, and Charlie Kirk would want that. What do you think about Charlie Kirk?
Vic, that last part, he almost had me.
They're just trying to cause chaos.
ChatGPT
Trying to be a chaos agent.
September
If it were-
2025, the majority of those killed are civilians with women
No,
and children.
I don't see him
No,
anymore.
it's
He
not.
left.
Largest demographic. Reports indicate approximately 60 to 70% of the casualties are women and children.
Do you know how they?
That's not true.
No,
That's
it's
not
not.
true.
What's the
Do you
source?
know
Is
how they
it
calculate
zero?
that, right?
Like what
It's
was
in
the
the
source?
chat. It's in the
Do you
chat.
know? Yeah, but do you know how they calculate that, right? Because
Yeah, Hamas
the
gives the
majority of
numbers.
men are identified as militants, and so when they kill men, they are not counted as
So
civilians, and
ChatGPT
then
is
the
wrong.
rest. That is not the rest of people that are left, which are women and so-called children. They are not registered as militants. So yeah, when you talk about civilians, you will find more women and children, and they account for 70% because the rest of men are like old men or whatever, like the men that cannot fight. Because the men that are killed are militants.
Correct.
It's not that
And that's
women are babies and tigers.
and that's because what he's quoting are Hamas's numbers, as usual. Whenever people do this, they're literally quoting made-up numbers by Hamas. And if you want to know that they're made up, you can see there's plenty of study done on this by a professor out of Pennsylvania. He's taken the numbers. They don't follow a random distribution, which is what you would expect. Well, they don't follow a standard distribution in terms of like when casualties happen, or they're like, it's sort of just like total randomness, and they're picking numbers out of thin air. It's the numbers that Hamas gives are totally made up, completely made up, no truth to them.
Well, looks like this was in the chat, according to ChatGPT. I don't think they just get their numbers from Hamas, but
They do.
They do. The only reported numbers of that
they
war
read
come
what's
from the
published.
Ministry of Health, which is Hamas.
Somebody.
ChatGPT is retarded. I don't understand why people use it as some kind of fucking source.
It's very retarded.
Jeff, thank you so much.
I was asking it for something the other day to fill out a form for the SEC, and it totally made shit up.
It'll
I was like,
hallucinate.
wait a minute, this
People
is made
think-
up.
Yeah, people think it's like newer versions. It's like
I told
reliable.
it that, and it's like, oh, you're so right. This is incorrect. I'm like, what?
Oh, TC's back. Yo, TC. We're
you
trying to
gotta
hear
ask Mecha Hitler if you're gonna get anything.
Thanks for coming back, TC. TC, like, Charlie Kirk would want us to have this dialogue, so I want you to finish the debate, like, in good faith, man.
Well, then stop kicking him off the fucking stage.
Oh, shut up, Silva.
I'm not kicking him, Silva.
Knock
That's
it off.
wrong.
Someone is.
But I'm trying to invite him up, but I can't. It says
Just let
user
him
has
talk.
already been invited.
No, he's not sticking, to whatever the style. So
He's
getting
not here to
retarded.
engage. He's here to yell.
We don't care if you think it's retarded.
I'm gonna try to leave and come back to invite you up, TC, because I like the dialogue you're trying to have with John. It's good for everyone to hear all sides.
Hey, so how about you stay out of it, huh? We all stay out of it. And
I can say what I want. Everyone that doesn't agree with me, shut the fuck up. Is that what you gotta say, Andrew? Is that it?
That's not what anyone said, Silva. What a bad faith argument
I'm
right
trying
there.
to invite you up, TC, but it says user has already been invited at this room, so I can't help you. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it was
You
kicked
wasted
out
all your
too much.
invitations to see.
Try leaving and coming back, maybe?
Yeah, I'm on
I don't
stage
know.
now. I'm on stage now. There was a lot of misinformation there. Listen, I'm happy to engage with anybody in good faith. What I'm not going to do is engage with
You don't know what good
them.
faith is. You don't know
So
what.
Vic,
You don't know what.
if there's somebody
Usually I'm
that
like
wants
kicking out. Yeah, you don't.
Listen, please, you're trying to talk.
Nah,
Hey,
I'm not doing it.
Why you interrupt me, Johnson?
Because there's a bunch of questions on the table and he's got to answer them. That's what a debate is.
He will, but...
No, he won't. No, he won't. He just said he wouldn't.
He's trying. You didn't get
No, he's not. No. He's trying to lecture.
I'm happy to
He's trying to lecture people on bad faith. He's the one that's having a bad faith
happy to
argument.
debate. Let's hear...
He's not.
Let's hear...
He's not. He's about to tell you. He's happy to debate in another room with other people who aren't
Someone kicked the room.
good.
Isn't good faith just Christianity?
No, he's here.
That's not good.
No. That's pretty funny though, Micah.
just non-discriminatory with my good faith.
Fucking Hindus.
There was a report that was crazy actually, that they were saying that the IDF soldiers were not raping Gazan women because they consider them less than animals. So it's like they were doing discrimination in raping women. It's like these people are crazy with their narratives.
Hamas literally went on TikTok and was videotaping their like the entirety of October 7th. Like it was an act of war.
That's what's concerning to me. People think it's fake news or something, and we all saw that one woman with broken limbs in the back of the truck and a bloody crotch. And it's like that's just fake. Like
all of it is fake.
Hey, Jim, so do you think they're going to take the deal? And if they do take the deal, what happens to all these
I think
about this?
I think the point of the deal is that they won't take it. And I think the point of the deal is that we will motherfucking crush Gaza if they don't take it.
That's what I was saying.
And that's fine.
I hope they take the deal, but I think you're right.
I don't think they'll take it, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. They're just going to bulldoze it. Like
there's no point. There's no point in Gaza. Gaza needs to go. Like they've acted terribly numerous times. They elect Hamas as their leadership. It's time to like put an end to it. Like Israel truly is a fairly Western civilization. They don't mix with Muslims. Their problem is that they're caught right in the middle of all the Muslim nations. So it is what it is. You can't have a Western democracy among Muslims. Sorry.
So we have no Western democracy in Dearborn, Michigan?
That's obviously true.
They should bring that up. Like,
no, you're right. We don't.
There's a bit of Muslim prayers going on that everyone needs to participate in. Now that you bring that up.
I think it's funny that like the mosque shit should be shut down just based on like noise ordinance. You know,
if they're bitching about minors, yeah, totally.
Well, they're just not operating in good faith.
Well, no, the cities give them like dispensation for it.
Well, the city is run by Muslims.
Literally, their sheriff, mayor, every members.
Other cities now are seeing like the building of mosques and like they're having to do prayers like multiple times a day.
Look, if they have their masjid, they go in there, they pray. It's not allowed. Like, more power to them. But I think there's like this weird behavior, like it's third world country shit where they just pray anywhere they want. Like they'll stop a street, like this weird shit. And the certain decibel stuff that's just standard throughout everywhere, right? Doesn't have to be religious at all. Like it's just like even loud music, parties, whatever.
Christians pray wherever they want, but they are not like doing a show of it.
You can be a Christian and just be sitting at your chair at a restaurant and pray. You don't have to get down and do the hokey pokey.
That's right.
You don't have to block foot traffic.
Right.
I also find it interesting, like these sort of multi-use chapels.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is.
Well, you go places, like all of these places have these multi-use chapels where it's like they're like this chapel is for Muslims and Christians and Jews and whatever. And I'm like,
no,
the point of a chapel is to like set up a thing that is kind of like, you know, holy ground.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's really how it works. I don't think you can have like, and this chapel
they usually call them prayer rooms, don't they? Like. Yeah. Which is for Muslims, you know. It's for Muslims, like It's not for anyone else.
This room is for the worship of Baal and Jesus.
Yeah. It's very odd.
I actually disagree with you here, John Smith. I think in Pakistan or whatever, there was like Sufism, so there was like these places that would like be less radicalized through that. Like they'd have Hindus and Muslims worshiping in the same place.
Yeah, but
and then people like the Taliban or whoever would come through, they'd fuck up.
Wait a second. That again doesn't answer my point. Like, how do you have holy ground whereupon you can worship multiple gods?
It's not worship multiple gods. It's more like you like their culture, and you can agree to disagree type of thing.
What if you don't respect their culture?
Right.
Well, I mean, they don't, and they basically blew up that place and killed Muslims and Hindus.
Jensen, did you see the news that the NHS is now supportive of first cousin marriages?
Oh,
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, it's New England Journal of Health wrote a thing on it, and they said that it can really be community supporting.
Yeah, by what? Making everyone fucking retarded?
Mm.
Like, it's the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life.
I can't believe they wrote that.
Dude, the shit that's going on now, if you ran into a homeless person on the street in the 1960s, this is the shit they would have been saying was going to happen.
No.
And they were right.
Yeah, but all of this leads back to exactly one thing, and it's so obvious when you say it. I don't know anything about this research report, but I can almost guarantee you one thing.
It was written by women.
It was written by a woman or women. Go look. Let's go look.
It's obviously.
Let's find out.
I support this claim.
Let's find out if it's right. Let's see.
By the way, somebody was pointing this out on Twitter, and I didn't really realize this, but like, the outlawing of cousin marriage was really not for the purposes of making everybody smarter, although that was a second order consequence, which was like great that we got that second order consequence. But actually, the reason to do it was to break down clans and tribes among families in Europe. So, like, there were all these, like, extended clans and tribes and, you know, groups and whatever, and they were taking power away from the state and from the church. And so they outlawed cousin marriage, and that broke apart some of the power of these familial tribe groups, but also it accidentally made everybody smarter.
That makes sense.
You know?
I think Europe hasn't really done that cousin marriage shit because they learned through their royals in like whatever 1600s or so, right?
No, they never really learned, Vic. It was an accident. It was an accident that they stopped fucking their cousins. They only did it for state power, basically. And it worked because it turns out when you fuck your cousin, you're fucking retarded. You know?
Dude, it looks like this entire thing is like men. The authors are all men.
Really? I'd expect it to be like a Muslim woman.
But isn't a British man really just a woman?
Tensions.
You know?
Yeah. Dude, that's great. Britain's going to fall into civil war too. Like,
oh yeah.
To me, we are there. It's clear to me that we are now there with like 2 or 3 attacks a week. That's going to escalate. I don't know when you call it a civil war. Is it at 4 attacks a week, 5 attacks a week? I don't know, but 2 seems pretty much like the, in my opinion, where you'd call it a civil war. And then you know, fucking the UK is gonna follow by example. And the thing that I would love to see is I would love to see the royals absolutely like deposed. I think that'd be hilarious if there was a changing of the royal family this late in history. I would love to see that.
Like if Peter McCormick just announced he's a new royal.
No. It's like you go back,
or like an Ottoman.
You find a steward. You know, you reinstall a steward.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Give it back to the old house. Some person living in poverty right now is making. Of
Bedminster, yeah.
It's like you find an old Stuart king or an old Stuart who's like living in poverty now, and you install him as king, and you make him the king of England. And now the House of Windsor's fallen, and now it's back to the House of Stuart.
That'd be funny.
That'd be hilarious.
They're more likely to get like a Khan or Ayatollah.
Well, I just think that if the king cannot be overturned, then it's not a king. I think if you can't overthrow your king and if there's no question as like who's next on the throne ever, I think that you've lost your monarchy. Because the monarchy needs some semblance of the ability to fall.
Yeah. Yeah, Britain is fucked it. You know, it's so crazy to me, the Dearborn thing, because the way that my grandfather talked about Dearborn, Michigan, with such reverence, for the fact that John Deere made their tractors there, okay? And then to see what it is today is just like, how does it happen? You know, like, why is it happening?
Well, I mean, it turned into a shithole after the manufacturing left, and
what I'm saying is, like, how do all the Muslims get to Dearborn, Michigan?
There's
Why are they there?
A community that got built there because of the refugee shit, and they just all flowed. 100%, you're right.
How did they
Why
end
are
up
we
there?
taking in refugees? Why do we give a fuck?
The more relevant, Vic, why? Think about it this way, Vic. If you come from a land that is filled with desert, why would you go to America and find the coldest place here and go there? It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Exactly.
I'm saying, like, it is coordinated or whatever, and that originally.
You would think they would all live out by me because this is a desert.
Yeah.
They can live out just like Saudi Arabia.
Right.
I mean, to your point, John, said the same thing with like Somalians in Minnesota. Why?
Yeah, no one wants to explain it. Was that the cheapest ticket they could get? Like, New York would make sense. It was a point of entry.
You got walls and like all these people in power that probably are, you know, helping coordinate that.
Yeah. I mean, somebody is trying to destroy Dearborn, Michigan, and they're using Muslims to do it. That's what's happening. Nobody wants to say that explicitly, but like these people are essentially human bioweapons. I'm sorry, I said it. I don't give a fuck. Like that's what they are. They're put there to destroy the society on purpose. Otherwise, why would you put them there?
They named a street after the head of Hamas.
That's what I'm saying.
Isn't that both streets?
That's fucking wild. I did not know that. I give them more benefit doubt. I think they're just Democrats that basically want to appropriate federal funds, and they don't care if they have to throw meat bags and shitholes to appropriate those funds. Like, they'll do whatever, you know? More the state.
Well, I think some of it is like willful ignorance, like they believe their own horseshit, you know, but like, I don't know, man. At a deeper level, I think there's somebody who goes a little higher up than Tim Waltz that does understand what's happening, and they're doing it on purpose. Because I just can't, it just doesn't make sense. You know?
You're talking about like an NGO or like the UN or World Health Organization, like
I don't know who it is. That's the thing. I don't know who it is or who's doing it. But like, it seems all by design because it's happening to the entirety of the West world.
There's probably programs you could look up and like whatever.
Yeah, there has to be
country, you know, that
there has to be international coordination from some group or series of groups, but like somewhere this is being promoted and we just aren't seeing it, you know. And it's also like
it also might be a consequence, you know. It might not be like directed into like Dearborn, Michigan, or Western society, but there is this attempt to create some sort of alternative to the capitalist or free market system. You know, some sort of like hybrid system. That's what China is basically doing. But you know, it might be just one.
Well, there's like weird idea like across the Western world that they kind of want us all to be nameless, faceless, homogenous like Zoomers of whatever. It's like a Disneylandification of like Arca and Europe.
It's the globe almost.
Yeah. It's they want us all atomized, individualized, homogenous, and like there's nothing tying anybody to. There's no blood and soil. They use this term blood and soil all the time as if that's somehow supposed to be a negative thing, like as if the Japanese don't have a right to their island. You know, like it's like, it's blood and soil. You think Japan should only be full of Japanese people? It's like, yeah. I mean, I don't see why not, right? What is inherently immoral about the Japanese having their own little island? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I don't know. Every other nation for the history of humanity has been an ethno-state. This has always been my point. Every nation's an ethno-state except for us.
Yep,
Australia and
we are the experiment. America is the experiment.
Well,
the Americas are the experiment.
And that is the one of the challenges, because you guys were not an organic country, but you were founded upon an idea and values. And so when you don't have cohesion there, it's gone.
Well, Isa, I mean, to your point, I think there is no cohesion of idea, and that is the problem.
No, so but yes, of values.
Stop. Yeah, but that comes out of like first principles. And what happened with the United States, especially that whole multicultural paradigm instead of the melting pot, that's what corrupted the experiment. Because if it was continued along the lines of, associating through ideas, associating through certain values, it would continue just, hunky-dory. And in fact, I would argue it's much more effective than ethno states, because it takes on bigger resource. It looks at the larger cut of the society, which is always better. It just needs to be contained within, the paradigm of similar ideas. There has to be some sort of cohesion and similarity.
But that is the reason why, Christianity being as the bedrock, of the foundation of the U.S. is so important, because multiculturalism doesn't work. If you want to have multi-ethnicity, that's fine, but you cannot have multiculturalism. That means conflicting cultures living together, having different values and fighting for different things. And then you don't have cohesion. So if you want to have people over, they need to adapt and they need to integrate into what your culture is, which is based on Christianity. You cannot have conflicting cultures.
Right, and like in America, we have enough like conflicting cultures with blacks and whites. Like the whites believe that slavery needs to be abolished, and the blacks believe that slavery should just continue as it is in Africa. Like we don't really get along for those reasons.
And especially Islam. Like, what kind of alignment do the Western culture have with Islam? Zero.
Well, we both look at our women similar, just one has the balls to say it.
Right, the women of the blacks have the balls.
Look, it'll all solve itself, because they're not having kids. The trans and the Muslims are thorns that take out each other. It'll just take 2 generations. But it'll be a long civil war, like you were saying, John said.
In the words of every boomer ever, it won't be my problem.
Sorry, I was a little busy. But I wouldn't be so doom and gloom about it. I think the project will be saved. It needs to be invigorated by the first principles of those guys. And what I disagree with, you think it's not purely Christian. It is the Scottish Enlightenment, which is very different. German Romanticism. It does have some echoes of it, definitely with deists, founding fathers. But I think it can be saved. I'm not black-pilled in that matter.
I actually heard recently Charlie Kirk speaking about this, and he was saying that the initial constitutions of the different states, I think like 9 out of the 13 or 9 out of the 14, something like that, had the obligation or the requirement for you to believe in God and profess, being Christian. And even in order to run for office or be able to be part of the government, you had to convert or to proclaim that you were Christian. So yes, I think that Christianity, it is an essential part of it. And all of the constitutions, 9 of them had a requirement, and the other ones were like, had also a requirement, but just like to run for office. So even if these founding fathers were kind of like more towards enlightenment, whatever, in the original constitutions, God was there, like Christianity was embedded there. So we cannot say that it's separate.
I'm not saying that it's separate. I'm saying that there are echoes of it. And you need to also understand that there were different sects of Christianity. So one of the reasons why it was excluded from the more federalized version is because they didn't want the same type of conflict as they were running away from in Europe. And I think the only person who actually attempted to put God in the Constitution was John Jay. He was overruled by the rest of them.
But even in the Declaration of Independence, you have God
No.
4 times.
That's because the federal government has no power, or is not supposed to have much power over the states.
Correct. They cannot impose a specific version of Christianity.
Sure, but the states can.
I mean, if they want to, yeah.
They can't now because of what, the 14th Amendment?
What's the 14th Amendment?
Yeah.
So the federal constitution applies to the states as well.
I learned so much. You're helping me assimilate. Hey, I was thinking about that. Like, you know, the Ellis Island type stuff? When you show up to America, you should be hazed to eat a steak, bacon, and eggs as your first meal. And if you can't complete it, you get on the flight back.
Great idea.
Shit, I might try it. And also, stand the terrorists keep feeding me.
They're gonna be people like, you know.
No, that's such a great idea. If you want to come to America, you have to finish a meal filled with bacon and hamburgers.
Yeah, but Vic, there is no
bacon cheeseburgers. It keeps the Jews out too.
I can't hear Dave.
Vic, there is no landing strip on the Ellis Island for airplanes to send them back. Only by a rowing they can go back.
I mean, that's even better. Like, it'll save us money, I agree. We should reopen Ellis Island. I just meant, like, that's like the checkpoint or whatever, but yeah, let's get Ellis Island and rowboats.
Half of the country is going to denounce their citizenship in the morning and come back in the evening to have a nice
Yeah, I mean, don't get me started. A lot of illegal immigrants from South America will do that.
That's one of the funniest immigration tests I've ever heard of in my life.
I got you, Johnson.
Eat this up. That's like probably the most effective immigration test I've ever heard.
It's so mild, right? And it's strict as a meal.
And it has some health consequences, like good health consequences, right? If a person can handle that meal and not die of a heart attack, that means they have good genes.
I mean, think about it. You make the Jews and the Muslims eat pork. You make the Hindus eat beef. You've de-radicalized a lot of them.
You make the Jews mix the cheese and beef.
No, what you do is you drive people crazy. Everyone has to do this except Jews.
That won't
be
end
hilarious. That would be hilarious.
Nah, it keeps out the radicals.
Yeah, Justin, you have to go to like this facility, and for 3 days you have to eat steak, bacon, eggs, and cheeseburgers, and watch porn all day. And if you can't do that, then you're not a citizen.
Why the porn, Vic? Why did you have to throw in the porn?
Fucking Hindus always ruining things with their sex cult shit.
You guys are fucking strange.
That's degeneracy, Vic.
De-radicalize them.
Before it was literally just McDonald's. Now it's like McDonald's and like X-Hamster.
A bacon cheeseburger, and you gotta be able to recite at least one verse in the Bible.
Which one would be the one they don't want to recite? I am the Lord God. I, Jesus, am He, the Savior.
Even the natives can't recite one. What are you talking about? Everybody's gonna.
I have an idea, Joseph. It's the one about the Messiah.
There is no. I'm the way, the truth, and the life.
Sure.
That works.
There you go. That's the guy. No one can come to the Father but through me. Me.
How about Jesus wept? We'll give him an easy one.
John said, I got my idea, so I can't take full credit. I got it from the CCP. Where the Uyghurs are in de-radicalization camps, so they just eat bacon and watch porn.
That's awesome.
It's gonna radicalize even more.
It's 3 o'clock. I have to go watch report. I'm sick of this bacon.
They make him drink by Joe.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's another thing. Maybe you should have to take like a shot of bourbon or something.
See, I think the bacon cheeseburger does the trick.
That's all you gotta do.
It's so mild.
What? What? The left will just go crazy.
You can't eat a cheeseburger? I don't know if you can last here, man. It's such a simple ask.
This is like every American meal, man.
The left would go absolutely bananas.
Oh,
and it's so American that you just, like, it would just be hilarious.
And you need to chase it with a glass of milk, like whole milk,
Yeah.
just to make sure that you're not lactose.
And what are you going to do if they aren't lactose intolerant? You going to have public bathrooms on Ellis Island? Or is it
You gotta put them in their own room.
You put them in the
Dude,
lactose.
the Bay in New York is, it's full of shit as it is, so I think it'll be okay.
How are
No,
you
you can't
planning
release
to
them in
keep the
anywhere.
Guatemalans out though? Because we eat just pretty much anything, and our stomachs are very hard.
You just have a sign at the front. If you can't pass the test, take you and your shit back to your country. They don't realize you actually mean shit.
You're getting the shit in the bag.
Issa, is it true that Guatemalans get deported from Mexico?
I don't know. Probably.
I just imagine some guy sitting there who's lactose intolerant, sitting there just like holding in his fart and just hurting. And they're like, yeah.
No. It's like a story, like a grandfather tells his grandson. It's like, when I got to this country, I had to hold my fart. For 24 hours, they were checking me every 2 hours.
They made me sit in a 4x4 box.
This one's 2 centimeters dilated. We know something's up.
He really wants to fart. He's sweating.
June said, "You've been gassy today."
Give him some more milk.
One of the funny things they did do in Ellis Island was just like, nope, you can't have that name. It's too hard. I can't say it. Here's your new name.
The NGOs are just going to invest in Lactaid. This isn't going to work.
Yo, can you make them, give them a free shower in like holy water or something? Does that work? Get rid of some demons?
You know how much energy it takes to boil the hell out of that much water?
I need to rob you. Were you running to the gun? Were you running to the gun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus.
Right?
I muted you, John said.
Theo Kara thought the house was being robbed, but she was running out of the room where the baby was. And I was like, were you running to the gun? And she's like, no.
What?
Like, well, how are you going to do the baby? You're going to, like, do karate?
That's such a fail. I mean, she's
Well, I said-
Brazilian, right? She'd get down with some BJJ, like, break some limbs, and then let you show up and do some questioning, get some pistol whips in.
I'm always afraid of my wife because, like, she goes frantic. Like, if I come in one night and she thinks she's being broken into, she'll just shoot through doors.
Oh, like that hop-along guy in South Africa.
Oh, yeah. Oscar Pistorius.
Yes.
John said, I figured you did.
You know what he makes me think of? The most wonderful thing about jiggers are wonderful things. They're bouncy, bouncy, fun, 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 fun. He reminds me.
You know what I thought when I heard the news was that he was in the wrong Olympic sport. He should have been in trap. Fun, 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 fun. The wonderful, wonderful thing about Tigger is I'm the only one. I'm the only one.
Was that Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, I could just think, like, if you're on those two spring legs, like, the urge to balance must be real.
John said, you want to shoot through walls? I figured you have like a camera set up in every room, so the moment the door would open, you have like an angle.
Can't put cameras in your house.
This dude is literally a security surveillance company of his own. Like, I figured he has like a tablet or something. He just pulls up. He's like, all right, if I look at this angle and hit this drywall, that'll be enough to incapacitate.
Can't even have Wi-Fi in your house anymore.
What do you mean?
They can map your house and where everybody is.
Yeah, that's true.
It's always been the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
It's easier because of machine learning now, you know, but yeah, Roombas and whatever Wi-Fi devices, they could just see like that, like you're saying, Dave, they could just map out the packets. But I think most people shouldn't have Wi-Fi because they don't just update their router. That's the bigger concern.
I just want a bacon cheeseburger now.
America, fuck yeah.
Gonna make you eat another cheeseburger.
This can all stop if you just eat your meal.
I don't know how someone can live without a cheeseburger. I really don't understand.
Dr. Beebe.
Bacon cheeseburger really is probably the most simple, innocent, effective test.
Delicious.
Dude, I had a great post on the Core versus Knots debate, and it got no attention.
Oh, what was it?
Yeah, I didn't even know you posted something.
That's what I mean.
Wait, you posted a thread a while back, but did you do something recently?
Yesterday, last night.
Oh, yeah, I did not notice. Sometimes I forget you're a smart guy because you're a funny guy, you know?
No overlap.
What is it though? Like, is it a thread again, or is it like a proper Medium blog with like citations like Jameson did? Like everyone's starting to say where they stand and how they view things.
Go look at it. It's not that long. It speaks for itself.
But what is it?
It's
like a or thread,
like a paragraph and a half.
Okay. Yo, how'd I do though when I'm trying to like get the chaos going with that TC guy? Like on 0 out of 10, like did I add enough fuel to the fire? Should I add more? John said, how do you feel there?
No, he just ignores everything. Just saying what he wants to say.
There's nothing interesting about a person who won't debate. Other than Silva. Silva's pretty interesting because he's got retarded views that I like to hear.
That's my dick.
What Dick Silva?
My girthy 6.5-inch dick.
Oh my God.
That's not what I heard from
Jesus
John.
Christ.
Calm down, calm down. He's married.
No,
that's not about that. It's just like.
When you hear, Ethan, you get excited when you hear 6.5 inches. Have you only ever
No,
like?
it's not that. It's just like, why do you need to bring your penis into this, Silva?
Well, no, you always put your penis into things. Like that's what a man does.
When he's talking to another man?
Wherever you are. You ever been horny? You gotta.
That's the
You
first
put it
time
into
you heard
things.
that in here, you feel? Sorry.
Okay, well, take it out then.
Well, you did take it to another level,
Take your
Silva.
penis out of Issa right now.
PTR.
PTR.
Damn, I didn't know you guys were together like that.
Wait, what's going
Issa,
on?
Issa just really had an amazing reaction to Silva telling her that his dick was 6.5 inches. Like,
It was not to that.
apparently she's never been with another, like a real man, David. Not like you or me. Dave's dick is 6 3/4.
What did you hold it half?
Dr. Pebbles gave me a 10. I feel like I've accomplished a lot. Because Dr. Pebbles he's the real deal, chaos.
Out of 100.
You said 10 out of 10?
There you go, PCR.
Let's see, what are we PTRing?
Damn, Silva.
What is that?
Shit, did your wife's Christmas present come in early?
What the hell is that? Like in the real life, I mean.
It is what it looks like.
No, but yeah, is this like AI or is this actually a photo that had that form?
I honestly don't know.
It's funny because that's like a tarp wrapped around something, right? Like the fold stuff look hilarious.
Oh, John says didn't stick around to see it.
Got him all hot and bothered. They had to leave.
Yeah, he heard Issa and you get all excited and he got excited.
Everyone gets excited.
Andrew, you are a master of wit, sir.
Andrew is?
Yeah. You missed it. You missed it. He started it. He started all this.
If he's master of war, no doubt.
I mean, no overlap, like John said.
You got.
Let's just put it this way.
Well, go ahead. I was gonna ask you if you went over dinner with him recently or something.
Oh no, he won't pay. He won't show up and he won't pay. He's not the man we all thought he was.
Who?
Andrew.
Oh.
Chris told him one time that we only liked him because he was the old guy that would buy everyone dinner.
Damn, that's not nice.
Turns out he's not even that old. And he won't buy his dinner.
We still have John.
We still have John. John's old and he buys. We should probably take him out someday. Maybe we'll take him to Dave's Chicken, Chris.
Dave's Hot Chicken.
Sorry, Dave's Hot Chicken. Did you have it? Was it good?
No, I didn't have it. I went across the street. There's one of the windows that's replaced with plywood. I feel like that's a no for me.
Yeah, somebody could have peed in the. That's what used to happen at Kitover, eh? The Golden Glow.
I love it when Dave says, eh?
Well, I didn't hear what you said though. You said someone peed in something?
You know the Arbor in Port Dover?
No, I don't.
Okay. They serve a drink called the Golden Glow, and people use it at night and piss in it.
Gross.
Hello? Hello?
I'm here to argue the word indiscriminate with Jenseth.
No, he's gone.
And I'm here to be hella belligerent while I do it.
Jenseth ran away.
Great to have you back, PC.
His wife made him get off. She needs him right now.
That was a completely pointless conversation.
Oh, well, Silva disagrees with you.
Yeah.
I still really wanted to hear that guy, what he had to say. There was nothing interesting to say.
Hey, throw me in Silva's camp too.
Silva has got a DEI policy.
Vic was enabling it.
It's inclusive.
I wish I would have heard an interesting conversation, but it just wasn't not.
I mean, I was trying to progress through the retardation so Johnson could spank him, but you guys didn't have the patience, and you know,
He didn't have the patience.
That's all I'm saying. Just have some patience.
It'd be like that.
He didn't have the patience.
I heard Johnson
he
being
didn't have the patience
very
though. Yeah.
patient. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard Johnson being quite patient, actually.
He was.
Exactly. I mean, other times you guys kick out people immediately. Like, this guy had a lot of time.
Well, no. The other thing though, we were all talking. Like, he didn't like when I was talking, Andrew was talking, Issa was talking. Like, he felt like we're all attacking him. Started saying you guys and trying to like talk him off that ledge so he could actually talk. So he just went full retard already.
Because he went like crazy.
It's a tough.
You're robbing against.
This is a tough room to hang in, you know. It's,
yeah, you have like a minute of like direct confrontation, and if you react emotionally or you don't address any points or you get flustered, it's just done. There's your minute.
Yeah. One also room is sorting you in like retard we can have fun with, or midwit we don't want to hear from, or highly intelligent person we disagree with where we can have an actual debate. You're being sorted in the first minute, and we don't find a lot of highly usually if you're highly intelligent, the room will let you speak about anything for as long as you want, pretty much.
Yep.
Like, with people will speak back to you, but like, you get like a pass if you're intelligent. You could come in here saying the worst thing in the world, and if you're intelligent, like everyone will listen and hear you out. But if you're a midwit, we have no time for that. And if you're a retard, you kind of got to you have to be entertaining. You know,
I
it
was
would be
just
fun.
about to say, I think there's like a fourth category where in that sorting session where it's like you're giving a cat its ability to play with its food, and I feel like a handler sometimes for that.
Yep. Bro, Guido found its way into my office because fucking mosquitoes now, because they've been cloud seeding, trying to reverse desertification. Fucking annoying. And anyway, so you have goddamn mosquitoes in the desert. Huh?
How's your pool? Do they hang out by your pool?
No, because the pool is like saltwater.
Okay, well, I mean that's good because that sounds annoying. Like the best part about Vegas is like the pool.
Yeah,
you can't enjoy that because of mosquitoes.
It's these little. By the way, these little fuckers are gonna be all over America soon. This is like a West Coast phenomenon right now, but trust me, in 5 years these will be everywhere. They're these tiny Asian mosquitoes that you can't fucking see. They're so annoying. You can't see them.
Are you talking about diggers?
No, mosquitoes.
And they bite and it like burns you?
Dude, okay, so no, they're these little tiny Asian mosquitoes. I forget what they're called, but they're so small, and they hang around your ankles. They're like ankle biters. They will bite your fucking ankles like 5 times in a row, okay, instead of just like getting 2 big bites or 1 big bite. And you can't see these little assholes, and they can, because they're from Asia, they can live in the heat. So we have them in the desert now. And if they're here, they're gonna be everywhere
What's the
soon.
feeling? Like, is it feeling like you're on fire when they bite you?
No, it's just like a regular mosquito bite. It's just itchy and annoying.
I'm pretty sure that happened to me in SoCal then. When I went back over the summer.
Yeah, I was at a party in Santa Monica. I got eaten alive by these fucking things.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I always like wearing long socks and like pants or shorts or whatever. But for me, I noticed a bunch. Like, I got like 3 on my ring finger knuckles.
Bro,
like,
never in my life have I gotten mosquito bites in Southern California ever. And then like since 2020, I've been like at parties and things like in backyards, and like I've gotten fucking mosquito bites in Southern California.
Same.
Fucking annoying.
I would get them, but it's only if you're going on like a bike ride to the beach or something in the flood channels, like stuff like that.
Yeah, or like certain places they were, but like it was very rare.
Yeah, they weren't in the burbs, dude. They weren't in people's backyards.
Dude, it's really harshing the buzz out here, because that was like the best thing about Las Vegas was it didn't have mosquitoes, and now it has mosquitoes and it's 110 degrees. Like fuck this place. Yeah.
Well, the pool is like the escape from that. So if you have to like watch out for mosquitoes while enjoying the pool, that's a headache.
Mm-hmm. No, you don't have to watch out for them while you're in the pool or whatever. But yeah, they'll get you. These tiny fuckers are, dude. Although I have this new thing. It's called hold on. What's it called?
The laser zapper.
It's called a bear burrer. Whatever the fuck. Anyway, it's a thing that I don't know. It's a thing that heats up, and you put it on the mosquito bite right after you get it, and it burns like a motherfucker, but it doesn't itch. So, right after you get bitten, you just fucking hit it with this heat gun thing, and then no itching, so it's nice. But now I have to zap myself all the time.
Oh, you're a gangster. You're cauterizing mosquito bites.
Yeah, he cauterized himself.
It basically is like cauterizing a mosquito bite. Yeah. It's the same thing as the hot spoon trick, but it's a little electrical device now that like makes it easy.
That's wild though. Like such precision.
It's good. Yeah, the Germans invented it, so that's how you know.
What if you don't? I mean, if you miss the mosquito bite and you point somewhere else, does it burn as well?
Yeah, it burns. It burns anywhere. It's heating up your skin. It burns everywhere. But, yeah, man, I just killed one of these fuckers with blood. And I was like, you piece of shit.
You're so funny, bro.
Those are the
mosquitoes
females,
that
right?
get to you over the scorpions.
Dude, the mosquitoes, I've killed like 100 scorpions since we lived in this house. It doesn't bother me at all. The girls always freak out when they see the scorpions, though. But like, the scorpions don't bother me because I just kill them real quick, and then I have a whole system how I kill the scorpions. I take a metal. This is what I do. I put a cup on them, or whoever finds them in the house puts a cup on them, and then they call me. And then I come in, and I take a metal spatula, and I slide it under the cup lid. And so I trap the scorpion between the spatula and the cup. Then I flip the whole thing upside down. Now the scorpion's in the cup. Then I reverse and take the other side of the metal handle spatula, and I smush the scorpion's fucking brain. And then I the whole thing in the fucking toilet.
How big
But
are they?
I become very efficient at that. They're like 3 inches usually.
Oh my god, Jesus. Ugh.
Yeah. We have a lot of them.
But that's what I mean. Like the scorpions don't phase you at all, but the mosquitoes, that's like super unique.
The scorpions creeped me out for a while until I've killed so many of them now.
Yeah, that fear.
I've killed hundreds of scorpions and I go fuck.
What about cockroaches? Do you have cockroaches because of the heat?
We do, but there's not that many. We have everything. I mean, we have rats, we have cockroaches. Me and my wife went on a fucking hike this morning. That's like it's like a trail by a small creek in the mountains. It has like snow runoff or whatever. And because of that small creek, there's like actual like forestation and stuff. There's like pine trees and like a meadow and a creek and all this stuff. And we were just like walking through there, and we got on the wrong path or whatever. And there were all these fucking huge bees and shit. And I was like, fuck, there's like so many of them. And they were just buzzing right by my head. And I was like, ah, fuck, we're already on the trail. So we just kept walking or whatever.
Like bumblebees or like Asian, like...
No, it was like those... It was like those big... They looked like somewhere... They weren't black bumblebees, although those fuckers were out there too. They were just like big-ass bees. Like they... I don't know if they were Africanized bees or what, but they were huge.
That sucks.
Anyway.
I fucking hate wasps and hornets, too.
My point is the desert actually has a lot more wildlife than you would think. Too much. What's going on in here and in Phoenix is that they're trying to, reverse the desertification of this area because people live here now and people like trees. And so there's a lot of and also the more trees you have around, it makes everything cooler. It reduces the heat. But yeah, now they're cloud seeding, and it's bringing mosquitoes, and it's pissing me the fuck off.
Do you guys get dust storms or anything? No, right?
Yeah, I mean, so the way it works out here is we used to get a lot more when the city was under construction. I mean, the city is still under construction, but they built out most of the city over the last 20 years while I've been living here. And the construction kicks up a lot of dirt. But now it's mandated that they have to spray water down when they're doing shit. So while they're moving dirt around, they spray water on everything to make it so that they're airborne. And so that's made it a lot better. But yeah, occasionally we'll get dust storms.
But is Nevada Is Nevada?
Arizona gets real bad. The stretch between Tucson and Phoenix was, dude, one time I was driving from Phoenix to Tucson with some friends to go party down at UA, and there's this long highway. It's 4 hours of just straight road, and we got caught in the craziest fucking dust storm, and we were going through it at 5 miles an hour, and we couldn't see shit, right? We couldn't see anything, and then we in the dust, we're on the highway. We're going 5 miles an hour on the highway. In the dust, we see over to our left a semi truck is fucking flipped over on its side. In the fucking in the median,
Sorry for the ignorant question, but is this a sandy desert, I don't know, with dunes and stuff, or more a dry, rocky desert?
There are some dunes, but more like a dry, rocky desert. You have to travel up north to get to the dunes. Yeah. We have the salt flat. We have some flats out here. And then some dunes. But most of it is kind of rocky. The Mojave Desert is very rocky and I don't know how to describe it. Shrubby. Rocky and shrubby.
Yeah, the Southwest has a certain type of desert with the cactuses and everything.
We're not like Saudi Arabia, yeah, which is just like sand.
Sahara or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But it just
It's more
looks
like
like a
Sonora.
very big beach.
But Otto, I asked you about the dust question because I think the Chinese are doing reforestation to prevent some of their deserts, like killing crops because of the dust, and that's why they're clouding and doing like certain systemic like tree planting and stuff like that. So I wonder if like there's like some agenda to do that, you know, make like you said Nevada and Arizona and all these places more green.
I think it's more because there's a lot of land here, and the federal government owns most of it, right? So like, it's in the federal government's interest to do that kind of shit.
Okay, there we go. Don, you have a bit of poetry to read to us today.
Yeah, I got a question though for serendipity first. What does serendipitous mean, and what does serenity mean?
You want the definition of serendipitous and the definition of serenity. Serendipitous would be happenstance, chance, happy coincidence. Serenity, I'm going to say, would be peace and calming. Serene, even. How's that?
Yeah, I was thinking that they probably have like the same base root, you know, in the front of the word serenity and serendipitous, so they must have similar meanings or similar, you know, background.
What poem are you going to read to us today?
Okay, I'll give you a couple options. You can listen to Bible flashcards. You can listen to the Jewish Tanya. You can listen to the Sufi Rumi. Or you can listen to Letters and Sentences and Maxims of Lord Chesterfield.
How about the Jewish one?
I wanted Lord Chesterfield, okay.
Okay, Lord Chesterfield's fine. Monica can have it.
Oh no, we're gonna do the Jewish one, and then we'll do Lord Chesterfield for Monica, if she wants it. Okay, pick a number 1 through 50.
50.
Okay, this is number 50. It's called Run and Return. So this is a meditation. Take the deepest breath of the day. Hold it for 10 seconds. This is called Run and Return. All the levels of love spoken of so far are called holy silver. As in the words, you greatly yearned for your father's house. But there is another level of love that exceeds these as gold exceeds silver. This love is like glowing coals of fire and is kindled through meditation on the infinite spaciousness of God and the complete emptying of all things into absolute nothing that such meditation generates. In this emptying, the flame desires to separate from the coals. Its yearning is so great that it is lovesick. And this great yearning brings about its own demise. This level of love generates hastening and returning. As it is written, if your heart hastens, return to one. If your heart hastens, is the moment of self-emptying from which you must return to the world, for despite yourself, you must live. Your task is not to escape this world, but to reveal it as a manifestation of God, as it is written, that there be one in one. Capital one with a big O and then a little o. Okay, do you want to hear the subnotes on what this means?
Yes.
Kesef Hakodashim from 2 Kings, all silver kesef donated for holy purposes, Kadashim, is to be brought to the clubhouse of Yahweh. Genesis 31:3. The altar Rebbe is playing with the words kesef, silver, and kasaf, yearning. This holy silver is your innate yearning to melt into the infinite spaciousness of God as a lover yearns to melt into the arms of the beloved. Klat Hanefesh from Psalms 84:3, the annihilation of the separate self in the infinite spaciousness of God. Ratzo is hastening and Shov is returning. Tikkune Zohar, when you feel the pull of infinity, surrender to it and do not fear it. Pirkei Avot, just as the tide ebbs and flows, so you will be emptied into God and then returned to the world transformed. You are made to love God, and through that love, to be emptied of self and selfishness and then return to the world transformed. The Alter Rebbe is playing with the text, "Come, my beloved, to meet the bride." L'chadodi Shabbat liturgy. The Hebrew word for brides is kalot, which Rabbi Shneur Zalman links with klat, annihilation. When the bride is embraced in the beloved, she loses herself in his embrace. The bride is you. The beloved is the infinite Godhead, Ein Sof. Once lost in the arms of the beloved, you discover that infinity includes finity, that the Sitra Achra is the other side of God, the side of the many who are all manifestations of the one. At that moment, you return to the other side with a love so great as to burn away the illusion of separateness and help you discover your true essence as a manifestation of God. It's called Run and Return. That's number 50 in the Tanya. It's pretty smart. Yeah, I'm glad you asked.
Thank you, thank you. Edie. Hello. Let me just looking at that pic. Aww. What up, Buttercup? Nothing. Y'all done working, right? Yeah. Here, buddy. I fell asleep. You did? Aw.
You said Luciferianism
to the church
and Satanism.
Jerusalem.
And for those
And
who do not realize,
held by
they're
Muslims, by the way.
Really?
Really? I didn't know that.
The only church
I'll look for it.
which in Jerusalem. It's
which
the
church?
Church of
The temple.
Sepulchre. It's held by Muslims. Syrians hold the keys because they open the doors.
Oh yeah, the ones that they won't let anybody in.
Yeah, that's the Church of Jesus Christos. So it's held by Muslims.
So they're denying access to Christians?
Muslims came
Yeah, they
after
deny
Christ
access to Christians and to
600
Jews.
years later.
Wait, of course, if they're denouncing, or they're not allowing Christians, they're not allowing the Christians to go to the churches?
No, they are. They're the protectors.
No, this is to the church, the temple.
I mean, like they are in charge of managing the physical property, the church itself, that particularly went there and make sure it runs and open it, close it, whatever. Like they manage it.
They hold the keys to open and close the church. It's done on purpose. I guess for
what is
I don't
the
know how many
purpose?
years. So they don't fight and stuff, I guess. Or they
Oh,
protect.
so I see. So they made some deals where you hold this, I hold that, and we kind of live in a ceasefire.
Yes, if you see the processions like during Christmas or Easter, they always have like those guys with the
this Turkish headwear they wear, and they have like a stick they hit the rocks, right? Haven't you seen that? Those are Muslims. They like protect the processional, the priests and all that stuff, congregation.
I don't know this, but why is Islam, or what is Jerusalem relevant to Islam?
Just the church, the dome. I don't know exactly, but I think something to do with that.
So they have a temple there also.
They conquered that part back in the day before they got kicked out, and they remained some of it.
So you have two things. One is the Temple Mount, which is the Dome of the Rock, and then you have the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is where the sepulchre is, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. And so these two are under Muslim, let's say, control. And for example, these are holy sites for both Judaism and Christians. And they allow visitation, but they don't allow Jews to pray there. So they can live, they cannot pray. They are punished if they're caught praying.
I see.
And they hold custodianship and keys to the Temple Mount, or Haram al-Sharif.
Aside from their temples, does Muhammad have anything to do with Jerusalem, or is there any prophetic things like that of that nature, or is it just those two temples?
Muhammad came 600 years after Jesus.
No, that's fine. I understand that, but does Muhammad have anything to do with Jerusalem specifically?
Yes.
You would come to me and say,
Muhammad traveled to visit God or whatever through Jerusalem. I could look it up on that.
Basically, Muhammad journeyed to heaven right there in Jerusalem.
Oh, okay.
The dome of the rock, Al-Aqsa Mosque. That's where it's just basically the same thing where Jesus, they have that temple where his body was, after the crucifixion. It's the same thing for Islam. For Prophet Muhammad.
That's where he got the commandment for the 5 prayers a day when he went up to heaven from Jerusalem.
It's called Qibla or something. The direction of prayer. They always pray towards Jerusalem because this is where he went to heaven.
It says that Muhammad never went to Jerusalem. He lived entirely in Arabia, in Mecca and Medina and the surroundings.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought, but
this is like it's a mystical thing. He overnight went from where he was to Jerusalem and then up to the heavens.
Yeah, exactly. But it was not in this life.
No, it's like a metaphysical thing, you're saying.
Yeah. And so it says that the Quran describes Muhammad being taken by night from the sacred mosque in Mecca to the farthest mosque, Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. And that's when he went from Jerusalem. At the time of Revelation, in the 7th century, there was no mosque in Jerusalem. The Al-Aqsa was later interpreted by the Muslims.
Yeah, it all happened like several hundred years after.
Yeah.
Because in Jerusalem, there is actually the city of Jerusalem, there is only 4 quarters. There's Jewish quarter, Armenian quarter, there's
the
Muslim quarter, and I don't remember what else.
Christian
quarter, yeah.
But there's Armenian one that's separate from, I don't know
There's
why.
Orthodox, I guess. There's a difference, maybe.
No, Armenians are Catholics, aren't they? They're Christians.
We're all Orthodox.
Yeah, but they're Christians.
I think they're Coptic. Coptic or Oriental.
No, the Coptics are in Egypt.
Coptic also Orthodox. All of them are Orthodox.
They're Coptic Orthodox, so I think they hold, what is it, monophysicism, I think is a distinction.
No. It's not, it has nothing to do with monotheism. Monotheism went away after the Chalcedon gathering. It's just some did not attend because they were conquered by
So they're non-Chalcedonian? They don't recognize the Chalcedonian?
Yeah, there's like 5 Chalcedons gatherings, and Armenians and Eastern Church were just, those people could not attend the 3rd one or 5th one, I don't remember. So they just did not, I don't know if they recognize it, they just didn't follow it because they couldn't be there. Because of the Turks and Seljuks and all the other invaders. But yeah, so the Copts, all the Syriacs, all of them are Orthodox. That's why there's Eastern and Western, right? Anything.
I always get confused between Oriental and Coptic Orthodox. I know that it has something to do with which ecumenical councils they recognize. Some don't recognize the 4th, some recognize the 6th, or some shit like that.
Exactly, that's what it is. But it has nothing to do with monotheism.
No. It's I could be mispronouncing it, but it's I think it's called monophysicism or like diophysicism. It's about like the nature of Christ's divinity. If he is in one nature, is he of one nature, or is he of 2 natures? And I think that's the distinction between the non-Chalcedonian churches and the Chalcedonian Orthodox. It has to do with like this specific, like, it's almost like a semantic and theological issue about like Christ's like divine nature. It's a very like kind of almost like a relevant point.
Yeah, but it's all, that's why it's called Troika, the 3. Son, the Father, and the Holy Spirit. So they're all, I think it's all about that.
Wow, Cortic, you're very interesting. You know a lot. Why do you know all of this? Are you an Orthodox Christian?
Because I'm Armenian.
Oh, that's why. Yeah.
That's my history.
Yeah, I know a couple of Armenians here, and they're actually very cool. But somewhat they're a little bit resentful against the Jews as well.
Well, because in Jerusalem, Jews spit on church, and and they want to take the land. That's why. In Jerusalem, there's a quarter. There's like 100-year lease is going to be over or something, and they want to take it. Of course, they're going to be resentful towards them. But it's not like it hasn't happened before. It's 1,000-year history, so they have their own stuff like that over there. I don't even know.
And I also, speaking to one of them, he was mentioning that during the war, that some of the ones that actually protected him and his family were the Hezbollah militants. And I was always very curious about that.
Hezbollah militants?
Yeah, something, yeah, like he was like thankful to these people because they would protect them against like the Armenian genocide.
Oh yeah, probably because historically they're fighting for their land, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, well, and that's the reason why he was like supportive of these regimes, you know, and let's say more against the Jews as well. I thought it was a very interesting position. I don't recall all the details. Might not have been Hezbollah, it was IRGC.
IRGC, that's Iran.
Yeah, I know. the regime, the Islamic regime.
Well, yes, because Armenia is allies with Iran because of Turks. It's geopolitics.
Yeah, exactly. The Turks were in war with them, and the IRGC kind of like protected the Armenians, right?
Yes. But
Yeah,
at the same time,
it was
there's
not.
Turks, Azeris, who Israel supports. So it's a clash of titans, and
It was
we're always
complicated
in the middle. It's always been
Just
like
like Syria, that was split in between all of these, and the Kurds also adding to the mix.
But it's always been like that. It's not just this century. It's always been like that. Between the big powers, the smallers have to survive.
Possible concrete, but they did this trip multiple times. So how vast was the effort to find these rocks?
Well, it says sure the rocks might not be from Earth, but that doesn't prove astronauts went there to get them either. There are other ways that non-Earth rocks could get there: meteors, robotic missions, and foreign sources. Saying a rock isn't from Earth doesn't tell us who bought it here, only what it is.
I just looked it up, and it says meteorites of all size hit Earth daily, though most are microscopic, burning up as shooting stars. Larger meteorites, like car-sized ones, strike once a year. There you go, man. We got it. We got it.
What kind of?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
What kind of chemical changes and fractures do they undergo? And are any of those kind of fractures present on the moon?
Can I ask you who controls the samples?
NASA. You can go.
So we only know what NASA allows us to test, right? So they control the rocks and the documentation and who gets access. If no one outside NASA can access the original full samples, we can't independently verify this. Can we?
No, because there was.
Can we access it outside of NASA? Yes or no?
Can apply for a grant to go work with the rock.
Yes, there were international observers who were allowed to examine the moon rock specimens, right? That means that they were allowed to come in and get full access, right, to do the scientific studies. Right? It's not like the U.S. was fucking bullying other countries, saying, nah, you're not going to be able to see it.
What about the idea of what Io said in the sense of other people that were in competitions, like, oh, nah, these the shit, right? When they allow other countries to examine it as well, right? Because here's what I'm thinking. At some point, we have to acknowledge that the moon was landed on, right? Because even to speculate that the rock was given by somebody else, somehow, some way, it's confirmed that it was a moon rock. The question is how it got here, right?
Right, yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out. It also says that, yes, some international scientists were allowed to analyze small portions of the moon rocks, but always under NASA's control. They never had independent access to collection and the retrieval process or the chain custody. NASA provided the rocks, NASA documented the samples, and NASA told them where they were from. Would you call it full access if someone gives you a sealed bag of evidence and says, trust me, it came from the moon? It says most of the world trusted the U.S.
Yeah, that's not
even if that's it's a clean room, and it's a clean room where you have gloves and there's multiple stages and multiple airlocks, and all the equipment is there. It's world-class equipment.
It says a rock appear lunar doesn't prove how it was collected though. But does a rock appear lunar?
They have the best one. So yeah,
no, it does
sure,
not.
you're using their equipment, their facilities, and so on. But they fucking designed all of it. They built all of it. And you would be lucky as a scientist to go work there with those tools to examine those samples, and many have been. There is a process. Even today, you can go apply. It's very fucking rigorous.
Not
I thought NASA stood for not a space agency. A rock that appears lunar doesn't. A rock that appears lunar doesn't prove how it was collected. There's no test that says this rock was carried by a human from the moon. So analyzing a rock is not the same as watching it come back from a spaceship.
Tells you why.
No,
Can I say something?
There's only a couple ways of possible. There's only a couple possible ways, like scientifically, how the rocket ended up here, right, and not be contaminated, right? And it's one, right? Somebody went there and got it, and they like Io said, they sealed it in one of those like airtight,
Hermetically sealed.
Yeah, one of those chamber things, and they brought it back here, right? And that's why it's not contaminated. Or, the rock defied the laws of physics and it just teleported here, right? So, I mean, you which one do you want to pick?
Could be both. Both things could be true at the same time.
Gold, are you using ChatGPT right now?
That's what I literally just said. I said that I looked it up, and I'm reading to you what it says.
I'm not accusing you of anything. I was in the office. Prompted, ask it, do the lunar rocks that were brought back from the Apollo mission have helium-3?
Okay. Do the lunar rocks, go ahead, from the Apollo mission have helium-3, right?
Have helium-3, yeah.
Have helium-3.
How did we get here?
I was about to cook. Just let it.
We got here from the moon. That's what.
Yep. We are trying to. That's why we want to go back to the moon.
It says yes, Apollo moon rocks do contain helium-3, but in very, very small amounts.
Now we got back to the next question.
Bro, I hope
where is helium-3 readily available?
I hope you niggas ain't arguing that the moon landing was
Go. Did you hear his question? Go.
He said, where is helium-3 available?
Readily available.
Readily available.
Because as the fucking rocket was going to the moon, everybody had their telescopes up at that time. The Russians had their telescopes up. The Chinese had their telescopes up.
Saying, bro, telescopes don't prove shit.
Bro.
Yo, I had a filthy cat.
Rocket landing on the moon, that doesn't prove shit.
The Earth is flat. The moon doesn't exist. It's a projection onto a big screen.
The Earth is flat is crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what this kind of sounds like at this point. So look, I'll encourage you, Gold, to check out the NVIDIA link and go look at the optics.
Look,
wait,
again,
what are you asking to ask?
You're arguing. You're punching the air right now, Io. I said from the beginning.
Don't get distracted.
You gave a bunch of
Helium-3 only exists in our core, and we have barely one or two examples of it, but every lunar rock that's ever been brought back, has helium.
I don't even understand. That's what do you helium?
Helium-3 is produced when you have no atmosphere.
Is this a
and you get
question
hit
or a
by the
statement?
sun. It creates
Sounds like a
that
statement.
isotope by virtue of the radiation on the surface.
You were asking me.
I'm asking you. What do you want me to ask Chat? You want me to put a statement in ChatGPT?
No. I was asking Gold.
Yeah, Gold.
I want to participate in the question too.
So you're trying to say that we need.
Yes.
Your ChatGPT asked it. Do the lunar rocks brought back during the Apollo missions have helium-3?
Yeah,
And what else if not
what
the
did
moon
the
origin
ChatGPT
could
say when he
account for
asked you
them?
the second question? What did it say?
Bro, who's that person that sounds like Donald Duck?
The fact that the moon toxin derailed from the moon, and you're like, okay, we don't have. You're saying that we don't have helium-3 like that on Earth. Is that what you're saying?
What did ChatGPT say?
I'm asking him a question. Is he saying that we don't have helium-3? Eric, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Haga. Please.
Oh my God, you don't want to read it. Why don't you want to read it?
No. I'm asking him before I even put it in. You were saying, say again, Haga?
Pause, bro. Pause. Don't make me laugh out loud.
God, don't let him do the gold toss-up, bro.
No. You gotta prompt your ChatGPT. Ask it, where is helium-3 readily available? Once it tells you that the lunar rocks have helium.
Well, you realize that I'm on a neutral side of the argument, so I'm going to look at both, right? I'm going to look at what you're saying. I'm going to look at what I'm saying, and Nigga, yes I am. I literally just said in the fucking beginning, you bozo.
No, you're actually...
I literally said in the beginning. I literally said in the beginning, there is a possibility that I could be 100. There could be 100% wrong. Okay? And if you're talking about helium, that's what the fuck it sounds like. Io is off every time that he's talking.
We ain't trying to hear the gold toss up, bro.
Yeah, fuck out of here. Niggas telling me I'm on. If I'm challenging you, hold on. You can't get mad that I'm challenging you.
Contribute to the convo, quit ranting, bro. I mean, I don't care.
I just want to say I mentioned helium-3. I mentioned helium-3 in the chat maybe an hour and a half ago. By the way, helium-3 is the reason why we want to go back to the moon. It's the reason why China is so aggressively going to the moon. That and the water and ice that's found on the southern part.
Okay, so
dark. It says yes on my chat GPT.
Right. So yes, helium-3 is on the moon. It says, but that's not in question. Sure, helium-3 is in the Apollo samples. No one is denying that. We also find it in Soviet samples and in the lunar meteors that landed on Earth naturally. This immediately reframes the discussion. Helium-3 isn't unique to Apollo. It's lunar, but not exclusive to astronauts. Yeah, having helium-3 in a rock doesn't prove a human picked it up. Helium-3 is implanted in rocks by the solar wind, and that tells us where the rock was not who bought it back. You can get helium-3 from lunar meteors naturally falling on Earth, from Soviet robotic missions, Luna 16, 20, and 24, and possibly even Soviet probes, the U.S. uncrewed missions before Apollo. So yes, a lunar origin rock might have a helium-3, but it is not a signature of human...
You have to connect the dots. The dots is, right? No. Remember what Io said?
I don't have to connect anything. I'm asking you to dispute that fact.
We can prompt it again. Characteristics that differ from lunar meteors and the lunar rocks brought back by Apollo, Russia, whoever. And you're gonna get into. Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Helium-3 is abundant on the moon, by the way. That was the point. Okay. That proves the origin of the rock.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it's not.
Well, you started off by saying no. And then now you're backpedaling.
First of all, I never.
Hold on.
First of all, I never said. Did I ever say?
So far.
You see, was Neil Armstrong your dad? You seem really strong about this whole argument.
No, you did say that they could be manufactured rocks. That's what.
No. I told you. Hold on. What I read to you
was from Netflix, the great source of scientific knowledge.
No, I never said, bro. Did I? You fucking cunt monkey. Did I ever say to you that it was just from Netflix? Did I say that from you?
You did.
I never said that. I said there were different...
You could make rocks, you idiot.
Please, play musical chairs and sit the fuck down. Did I ever say to you that it was just... Dickface, listen. Did I ever say to you that it's solely from Netflix, or did I kneel on the fact that I give you multiple different reasons? And I read to you, I said, hey, based off of what I looked up on ChatGPT of why you could possibly be wrong, these are the reasons that it gave. So you're arguing against fucking AI, not me, nigga. I already told you from the beginning that I was neutral.
Okay, so you're bowing out at this point. You have no intellectual contribution.
I'm not saying that I'm bowing out. I'm going to continue to challenge you to answer these questions.
I already did.
Either fucking sit. No, until you play musical chairs and sit down. Till you either submit.
I have a question for you. I have a question for you.
Hold on. I'm asking you a question. I'm saying to you, I'm trying to challenge your thinking. You either submit or you give me a reason to be out of a neutral position. That's what the fuck I'm doing. So if you can't do that, then play musical chairs and have a fucking seat. Point blank period. What are we discussing here? What are we discussing here?
We're gonna keep score. How many of them we knock out?
Mike, what is the question you want to ask?
Okay, so be my guest.
He's asking. He's gonna remain neutral on this since he's gonna use ChatGPT, which I have no problem with, by the way, of course.
Right.
To say, hey, look, what are things that you...
What are the reasons why it could be fake? Why do I have to conform, Io, to what you say? I know, but I'm not entitled to conform to you. I'm not entitled to conform to you.
Look, here's what I want you to... If you don't mind, here's what I want you to do. Just, if you can type this in, taking into consideration of the reasons that you gave that we wouldn't land on the moon, versus reasons that we do, what would you think outweighs each other? Do you think it's more likely that we did or did not?
You're asking me?
Yeah, if you can put that in your thread.
In my thread?
Yeah, don't press enter until you read me the prompt.
Okay, so what do you want me to put in the prompt?
Based on the reasons you gave me as to why we couldn't have landed on the moon or didn't land on the moon versus reasons why we did land on the moon, which do you think outweighs each other?
Okay, and you're expecting me to accept that definitive answer that it gives me?
No,
Is that definitive answer?
No, I'm not. Look. I'm not expecting you to do anything. Put it in and then I'll tell you why I'm doing this. Pause.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah,
that was crazy. Okay.
While you got
so I'm sorry. So
I have to go back into the office. I just want to make one last point, and then I'll go back to listening. And this is an important topic, right? Because both China and Russia have a cooperative deal to build a lunar research station. This is why China is gearing up so much to go to the moon. This is why Russia is in cooperation with them, because helium-3 is going to be vital for nuclear fusion reactors, which are going to be what will power the AI and manufacturing and all of that whole continent that is Asia. So it's going to be a weapons and arms race once again. This time we're not just going against the Soviet Union, which was maybe 3 countries out of 15, 20 who had any capability.
Keep typing, Gold. I want to hear the answer.
Wait, can you? I just got fucking distracted from Hadcock talking.
We're going against the biggest.
Type it in the chat so I can just type it up.
We're going against the 2 biggest enemies in the world that are going to have unlimited energy. So this is going to be a problem.
Sorry, bro.
China.
We're going back in 2026. I mean,
we're planning to. We're planning to. That's all dependent on if Congress decides to agree to their budget.
Eric, did you just you're going in 2026?
Yeah, I posted it in the chat. It's the Artemis program.
The Artemis program. Yep.
I'm on the computer. Sorry, I
spent
didn't.
billions of dollars over the last, what was it?
Billions.
I'm just saying. I mean, it probably are going, but that may be the first time. You never know.
I mean, you might be right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that might be that thing.
I disagree. I think definitive.
Go ahead, go, Poppy. You've been representing well. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Mike, you were going to put it in the chat? You didn't put it in the chat?
No. I'll just read it. Okay. Based on the evidence, based on the reasons you provided as to what went on the moon, and you can paraphrase. I don't care about it that much.
So based on the evidence, on the reasons you provided, why what?
We did moon.
Why we didn't land on the moon.
Versus evidence that we did land on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Which do you think is more likely?
More likely. Okay.
Perfect. Just press enter. And I'm going to accept this.
Okay, cool. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Loading, thinking. Okay, it's based on the historical and physical, scientific, and geopolitical events. Most likely and rational conclusion is yes or no, the moon. Let's weigh the two-sided logic, not emotionally, just the evidence, right? Or conspiratorially, right? Right, which was my side that I'm doing, is conspiratorially, right? I'm trying to challenge the fact that, okay, what if these are the possibilities? What if that is the possibilities? And it gives the possibilities. You want me to list both of them?
I want you to do whatever you do to make yourself feel the most comfortable, so when I respond, you don't think that I shorted you.
Okay. Well, it says the evidence supporting that we did, and it doesn't actually give the second part for some strange reason. It just gives rebuttals towards what the argument to the point. It just gives rebuttals to that. It doesn't actually set out to. It doesn't say, well, here's why this or here's why that.
Do you have a normal subscription?
I put something in ChatGPT, and it said.
No, I believe I have the paid subscription, but it also says that I'm limited to put photos.
Yeah. So you're limited.
I'll be honest. I'm not an expert on ChatGPT.
No. Listen, copy and paste what you wrote, and I'll give you the copy and pasted revised version of that prompt. Like words like comprehensive matter. So if you want to have a detailed and comprehensive analysis, you literally have to put those words into it. And comprehensive in this case will mean that it goes through every point that you address.
Okay, so because I came up with a topic, let me just end with this, and I'll go back on mute. Okay. The moon landing hoax theory relies on mistrust, but every claim has a straightforward scientific explanation. Plus, if the U.S. had faked it, the Soviets, our biggest rivals, would have been the first to call us out. Instead, they confirmed it. So I guess they closed the book on that, but it's still, food for thought. Thank you.
Because they were also looking up in the sky while
with radar and telescope. They have radar and telescope data that shows that the Americans went to the moon. So it's like, oh shit, fuck, they beat us. But the Russians were the first in space. Okay?
Right.
And for a while there, Russia and America worked together up until Crimea. Isn't that sad? Until from the 70s to now, to very recently, when Putin took Crimea, Russians and Americans worked together in space. It was so amazing that a guy named Rusty, he was like, hey, I'm Rusty. And the Russians were like, we cannot in good conscience call you erosion. And so, like, those kind of jokes, Russian jokes, I'm not even kidding. I'll post a link to the DARPA fucking thing where they make that joke. But the Russians are very honorable people when it comes to scientific inquiry. Okay, they have a controversial history, but they would have every reason to prove that America was a fucking liar. And they haven't. Why? What's the conspiracy on that? Another conspiracy? At a certain point, you're grasping for straws, and you need to pull back and say, hey, what does Occam's razor say? It says
So you wanted me to put the comprehensive thing.
You add to it, it's more likely. So the less you have to add, the more true it probably is.
So I put both of the things, views, right? Why we did versus why we didn't. So here's what it said, right? It said motivation to fake it. Cold War pressure. The U.S. was behind in the space, Sputnik, okay? The Soviets had early victories. The moon landing would be a massive win. This theory says if we couldn't get there, faking it would win the race anyway. The technology was too primitive. It says that computers were weaker than modern calculators, rockets were experimental and had already failed several times. Faking the landing might have seemed easier than doing it. Another thing, it says no stars visible in lunar photos, flag appears to wave, and there's no wind on the moon. There's shadows at odd angles, suggesting multiple light sources and identical backgrounds in photos allegedly taken miles apart. Mission or destroyed evidence. It says original Apollo 11 telemetry data tapes were erased or lost for some odd reason, and some blueprints from the Saturn V rocket were scraped. It raises questions like, why wouldn't these preserve humanity's greatest achievements? Yes, it says it raises questions like, why wouldn't they preserve humanity's
Because we didn't think it was that big of a deal. We thought we were going to keep going.
It says also cultural cues. Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey in 1968 showed realistic space scenes. Conspiracy theorists believed he was hired to fake the moon landing on film. Yet Hollywood and NASA collaborated to make a believable hoax. Too big to fail, Apollo 1 had a deadly fire. 3 astronauts died. And NASA couldn't afford another public failure. Theory claims that they faked it to save the budget. And then it also gives the reasons why we did.
Can you ask it? Ask it this. Did you take this information consideration when I asked you to compare the evidence?
Information into consideration when I asked you
to compare the evidence. I also would like to say that I feel, of course, ChatGPT is going to lean more on landing being something real, right?
Yeah,
because that is something
that's
because it's obviously something that's already taught to us, right? So it gathers that information based off of what is the truth, what is given truth to us.
No, that's fine. I'll accept that. I'll accept that. I will accept that. Go ahead. But what did it say?
Oh, did you take this information? Did you take the information or this information?
This information, meaning the information that you just read.
Okay, the information. Did you take the information on both sides?
You already did that, I thought.
No, I didn't put that. But did you take the information on both sides into consideration when you asked to compare the evidence?
Yeah, so check this. One comment, I need to make one comment. The computer comment is not correct. To this day, we have yet to have consumer-grade computers that can perform the kind of calculations.
But just press enter. I got a major point. Go ahead.
Right. So it said for the check mark where we landed on the side, I used verifiable, independent, and physical evidence, including the moon rocks, blase blase, right? These are things that exist outside of NASA's control. And it said, I examined for the we didn't land side, right?
Okay.
And then it goes on to
Reason why I say that is because
then it goes on to say, I didn't dismiss conspiracy claims outright. I evaluated them seriously, but when compared side to side with tangible physical artifacts, international confirmation, photographic and geological evidence, repeatable experiments, the moon landing being real is supported by direct empirical evidence, multiple independent sources, and then it gave the events require fewer extreme assumptions.
Okay, so here's what I'm saying, is that a few minutes ago you said that you're neutral on this, right? And you're reading off of ChatGPT. Remember when you said that? And ChatGPT was giving you like conspiracy arguments to suggest that we might have not landed on the moon or that we didn't land on the moon, right?
Right, because I asked ChatGPT, I said, well, what would be an opposing argument if it wasn't?
But let me ask you this. Prior to you putting that in ChatGPT, were you neutral on the moon landing?
Yes, I was neutral on the moon landing since the very beginning.
Then why did you have to ask ChatGPT to give you reasons why when you could have...
Because we started talking about Bert, the guy who went to Neil Armstrong and told him to put his hand on the Bible and swear to God that he went on the moon.
No, I got that.
And I'd punch somebody like that too, just saying.
No, I'm just saying this. Look, you obviously, prior to you typing the prompt in the ChatGPT to tell you what the conspiracies are against the moon landing, you had your own, right?
Right, which was a neutral state, that it could be that I could be 100% wrong.
I know. Okay, look, but you didn't believe that we did, right?
No, I've never said that I didn't believe 100% that we did. I said
I didn't say 100%. I'm not talking about. I know you don't believe it. I'll say this right now. I know you don't believe 100% either way, right? But you don't believe that you are currently convinced that we didn't land on the moon, right?
Right. Correct.
Okay. Perfect.